wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you get me in at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you get me in the
What's going on, folks? Will Stewart here with another pre-match late night THFC rant. And how are you guys doing tonight out there in YouTube lands? Got a match tomorrow. Should be a good one. I'm going to go ahead and throw the link into the chat here. If you guys want to join, you can do so. join the stream. I got one very good friend sitting back there who I'm going to bring on here in a minute. But before I do, I want to graciously thank all the folks who help support the channel. And Aaron, you'll have to forgive me. I forgot to fix the spelling of your name. Forgot to fix the spelling of your name. I will do that though. Patreon memberships. If you want to help support the channel, all the people that help support the channel, you can do so by going to patreon.com/THFCRants. The folks that do that are Spartan7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, my lovely mother Mama Coates, Celery Agent AG, Gogomanim, Tony Go, Alex Burleton, Bob Spur TV, John N, and Aaron Dove, and that's DU VH, I do believe, or VH. However they do it in Gaelic, I'll fix that, my friend. Then YouTube members, Matt Hayes. The other way to support the channel is become a YouTube member, and we've got Matt Hayes, a Tottenham blog. Look, if Matt Hayes is a member, you should be a member. Sai says, Danny Kariaku, the bun. I haven't seen the bun in a long time. Maybe the bun is in the oven. I don't know. Wayne Bonner, Dan THFC, otherwise known as the Id Kid, Tony Go, Scott M, Kieran McDonald, Tottenham Tantrum, and I do believe there's one or two new members that have joined over the last few couple of days. So I need to update the sheet. But hey, folks who are in the chat, bunch of people in the chat right now. There's about 15, 16 people watching the show. That's a little slow for normal, but hey, I'm sure it'll get rolling. All of my things are negative, but do you know what fixes negativity? Thing right here. Super chats do make me less negative. They make me smile. They make me dance. $1.99 gets a smile. $4.99 gets a smile and a head nod. If you do $50, I'll do a dance for you, and I'll even kiss your grandmother. But as we get going here, let's go ahead and get the show rolling and bring in the first guest of the night to join the stream. You know him. You love to hate him. Rest in peace, Arsenal. Mr. Stelios.
How you doing, buddy?
What is going on? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. See Jason Groves right off the bat. $2 Canadian. Cheer up then. Bob, that's going to cost you a lot of money in super chats then, my friend. But hey, you put it in there. You put in the comments. You're responsible for it. So Sant Bouchal beer. I do have beer. The beer of tonight is Dos Equis, Mexican beer. Not as good as I remember. It's been a long time since I've had a Dos Equis, and it's a little bit flat. Dan THFC says, "Give me 5 minutes and he'll be on." Aaron Dove. All that stuff. The bun is touring Spain. Well, there you go. I hope he's doing all right. But how's your day been today, still?
Yeah, it's been okay, Will. I had coaching for about 8 hours.
Do you guys have any matches today?
We had one, but it's pre-season more. Getting ready for the season. Starts in 2 weeks. Got back in time to watch Liverpool-Chelsea. Managed to catch a bit of Arsenal versus Man City on my lunch break. Other than that, listen, if Spurs win tomorrow, we go top of the league. How is that for a positive comment?
That's good, yeah. We do. As I said, we do, in fact. If we win tomorrow, we are top of the league.
You bet.
And we got a couple more here. We got Aaron Dove. Sorry, I keep saying it's the Scottish way. Positivity party. Will and Stell. Oh my God, get Yid Kid on. Hey, we're both positive. Stell and I. If you look in the definition of positive in the dictionary, you will see both of our pictures next to the definition.
Yeah, and next to honesty as well.
That's true. Irrational, reasonable, logical. My face is in that dictionary more times than ever. He says £1 for each of you to smile, you negative mofos.
Fuck off.
Piss off, Bob.
Kiss my ass, Bob.
And don't forget bald. Yeah, although I'm not that bald right now, I need to shave my head again. It's been a few days. I'll tell you what, man. The hair I have left grows really fast, except for this stuff in here in the middle. But even this, it's not as thick, obviously. But we've got another positive person, someone who's always positive, never has a gripe or a complaint. Mr. Jason Groves.
That's right. I'm Mr. Positive.
Mr. Positive.
You can't
We're all Mr. Positives here.
I'm just smiling from ear to ear. Right, how's it going, bub?
We love you, Jason. We do. We love you, Jason. We do.
I would just like to clarify, in case anyone was unaware of the fact, that I do know the difference between Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
all
it doesn't.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's even more funny if you didn't.
Right? No, I did. I was just trolling him.
It's better if you did it.
I know, but I was trolling the kid because I couldn't believe he was just. Anyway, there we go.
Apparently, he's on live right now over on his channel. But yeah,
allegedly, I should.
Allegedly. But yeah, Mr. Jason Groves, he never has a negative thing to say ever. No. Every time we lose, it's because it's raining.
That's right.
And
hold the phone. Are you saying I'm fucking Tottenham's tie? Because if you are, we got issues.
First of all, you gripe about some. You moan just as much as anybody else on this channel.
I do.
That's what's funny about it. No, I'm just. I'm telling you right now, it's just that it's like, what do people want us to do? Just, like what, if we lose 5-0 to, Newcastle or something like that? Are we supposed to be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we lost, but we put forth a good effort. And, if it wasn't raining or if the sun wasn't in our eyes, we could have squeaked out a result.
I mean, look,
support the club. Trust the process.
Yeah, that's going well for him. Look, if we win tomorrow, I'll be happy.
Sure.
If we win with a bit of attack, with some attacking intent, I'll be a lot happier.
Exactly
my point. Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
always happy when we win.
Right.
Always.
I get being defensive against like the big six and anyone sort of 8 and up. But any of those other teams, you should look to be like, especially at home. Now the fans are here, away games are a bit different. But at home, we should be looking to blow them off the park.
But Aaron, here on my channel, that's probably the case, right? But anywhere else that I show my face, either in text or in video, there really are people who do think I'm very negative. Let's make that clear. Right? Let's make that clear.
They don't know you though, Will. They don't know that you also like a good debate.
I love a debate.
Right, and you'll take that path less trodden sometimes just to spark one.
I don't necessarily think that I represent positions that I don't necessarily think. I may have positions that maybe not be popular, but yeah, I'll hold it to my grave, right? So I mean, that's I don't necessarily do it intentionally to spark a debate. There may be sometimes, but I usually smile if I do that, right? You usually see me smiling as I do it if I'm playing devil's advocate. But
prime example of you holding a position and not to spark debate, though, was like you always said like you fancied Nuno.
Since April.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was not a popular opinion when you first said it.
No, it was not. It's actually happened quite a bit, stuff like that. But apparently I'm just some fool who doesn't know anything about football. But
right, you're Americans.
Yeah, there's that too. But even in general, if I could count the amount of times where someone asked me, "How long have you been watching football?" I'd be a million. Wayne Bonner with £2 coming in. No one's more negative than Arsenal's goal differential. That's a true statement.
It is. And I'm going to laugh at them while I can.
I love it.
I fucking love the demise of Arsenal. I think it's fantastic. Fans that say they don't want to see Arsenal get relegated because they'll miss the North London derby. No,
bullshit.
I want them relegated.
100%.
I want them crushed. I want them sent back to South London. I think it'll be great.
I think I was on David's show earlier today, and someone asked that exact same question. Right? Would you really be happy if Arsenal got relegated? Yeah. And I think all of us were like, yes. Like, and my answer was, I want this, Amazon Prime documentary to go from all or nothing to the Netflix Sunderland episode where they get relegated and then get relegated again. That, my friends, would be great. I hope Arsenal get relegated and never make it back to the Premier League. That's what I hope.
I was watching Hugh Wizzy, who's a big Arsenal guy.
I like Hugh Wizzy.
He's actually a solid. I like his shows.
He's sound.
Oh yeah, but watching him go from like making reasoned comments to losing his shit like that, I was lapping it up. But I'm telling you, if they carry on like this, I'm actually looking forward to the Arsenal one more than I was the Tottenham one.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I want to see that. I want to see the wheels falling off of that bus live.
I just hope they don't sack Arteta. I really do. I hope they don't get wise and sack Arteta.
Right? I mean, at least keep him till Christmas.
Yeah, but I mean, only Arsenal could spend the most money in the window and still be bottom of the table.
Yeah, but like,
maybe
am I
Arsenal
the only
and
one that
Newcastle
doesn't think Ben White's a £50 million defender?
He's definitely not. I don't think he's a 50 million defender.
I'm not saying he's bad, but 50 mil?
I would say maybe like 35.
Well,
I mean, he's definitely not at Romero's class. That's about what we paid for Romero. So
he's a good player, Ben White.
Oh, I'm not saying he's bad still, but 50 mil?
Yeah, I know.
You think he's 30 million?
Or do you think that's the English premium, like adding another like 15, 20 mil onto that?
Do you know what? I think that's the price they wanted, and they wanted him bad enough that they paid the price. Whereas Spurs, we want a player. We don't pay the price that the club asks. So in some ways, no, he's not worth 50 million. He's probably worth 35, 40 tops. But they've paid to get the man they wanted, and that's the man they wanted. I mean, when you spend that kind of money, they could have bought Romero, they could have bought Milenkovic, they could have bought Skriniar. So
could have bought Milenkovic. Milenkovic was like something like 20 million euro.
Yeah, so clearly they wanted him. They really wanted Ben White, and they were prepared to pay the money. So in that sense, fair play to them. But I don't think that's the answer to their problems. I think they've got much bigger problems than getting Ben White in.
But do you think that he's within, 30 million of Maguire? Performance?
Oh, right. No. Well, yeah, but I don't. I think Maguire's slightly overrated as well, though. Will,
I think Maguire's overrated as well, but I think Maguire has shown that he's a better defender than Ben White, and probably farther away than just 30 million pounds, right? And we're supposed to be in a recession of prices, right? So, lower prices.
I think Maguire's in a better squad, so sometimes players look better when they're in a better squad.
There he is.
Mr. Dan is here.
What's up, guys? How's everything?
Yeah, we're just showing our respects. R.I.P. Arsenal.
R.I.P.
Arsenal.
I'll be visiting that funeral.
Yeah, we'll be going to the funeral tomorrow morning, everyone. Make
You know,
sure
still, in the episode that Bob were doing, when he said I was at a funeral, I put in the comments my condolences before he said it was actually Arsenal. So I actually thought it was somebody that passed away, and then like seconds after you were like, and then you showed up the thing R.I.P. Arsenal, and I was just like, oh my god, he got me good. But fair play, still fair play.
I'm sorry, buddy. It's English banter. That's how we roll.
Well,
And like all the Arsenal guys over there said, it could have been 10-0 today.
Yeah, but the funny
sure.
thing was, though, at 4-0, they wouldn't have been bottom of the league. And then Man U scored the fifth one and put them bottom. I was like, oh. Sorry, Man City scored the fifth one and put them bottom. I was like, oh, that's just glorious.
Get in.
Glorious.
The thing that I found even better is the fact that Ferran that scored him. It wasn't Harry Kane. It wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo. It was Ferran Torres. And Gabriel Jesus. City are desperate for a striker, and they still managed to score 5 goals against Manchester again. That's how bad of a situation Arsenal are in right now.
To be
and
fair,
right now, all I can do is sit back and laugh.
Danny, to be fair, I think most teams, if they really want, could probably score 3-4 goals past Arsenal. I mean, Brentford could have got number 2 goals.
They did get 2 goals against them.
Yeah, they could have got 2 more. I mean, like,
Yeah. And that's what people are saying they're going to show up against us too. I'll be surprised. I really will.
They said that last season.
I'll really be surprised if they show up. Look, they are in more dire straits than I think people understand. There's no way you come out of start the season this flat unless there's serious issues in the locker room, in the dressing room.
They were missing a couple of players.
Yeah, okay.
Like a couple of players that would definitely walk into the first team, like Party.
But like who?
Well, Party,
Lacazette, Ben White's been out for the last 2 weeks.
Well, that's true.
I mean, they are missing some key members. I mean, but not that their squad's brilliant anyway, but their squad's about as deep as ours. It isn't.
Jason, do you know what it is with Arsenal, okay? They're the same as Tottenham. They've got owners that aren't ambitious. They've got owners that aren't focused on success. They're more focused on the business side of things, the profits. But the biggest problem they've got at the moment, with that squad they've got, their manager's killing them. He's today, honestly, today I saw 3 things I thought, how's he a manager at Arsenal? He's starting players that they're trying to get rid of, like Kolasinac. It beggars belief. Then he's playing players in positions that clearly aren't good enough. Like he started, I forgot is it Cedric he played out wide instead of starting Maitland Miles, who's better in that right back position. And to kill it, players he's just bought who are playing quite well, like Lokonga, he's dropped him and shuffled the midfield, and I think to myself, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing with this team? And he's gone, and he does this against the best team in the land. I don't know, man. I think Arteta, this job's way too big for him. He shouldn't be at Arsenal. Wrong job. He's doing a Frank Lampard, but worse.
No, but still, trust the process. Trust the process.
Trust the process. We trust it well, mate. We trust it.
Did you see Ozil's tweet?
Yes, that was banter. That was banter.
I was like, oh, he went there.
We got another £2 super chat here, and just so people don't forget, right? Like earlier, I predicted my score was 2-0. Now it's 3-0. Why? Because super chats make me less negative. Come on, you Spurs. Arsenal, we're missing an actual team. Just some banter there from Mr. Wayne Bonner. Are they missing an actual team? Look, to be honest with you, I don't think any of Arsenal's first team players are really any that good. Anyway.
Will, do you know what?
Except for Saka, maybe.
I would take Saka. I would take Smith Rowe, both of them two at Tottenham. I would probably take Gabriel, the centre back. I think he's a good centre back, but he's out injured.
Who's that young Scottish lad they've got?
Tierney.
Yeah, I'll
Tierney.
take him.
I'll take
Tierney
him
for sure.
Well, yeah.
He's a good player. And I'd probably take what's his name? I would probably take Partey. I would probably take Partey. Those five. Yeah, he's always injured. I'd probably take those five, but the rest. I mean,
But how many of those five make it into our starting 11, though?
Yeah, that's the
I think
thing.
Saka probably would. Actually,
On the right?
no.
That's like a right winger.
Yeah, that's a good point. Saka probably not, but do you know what? They're probably good players to have as opposed to the options we've got if someone gets injured or we need to make a sub.
Yeah, like squad players.
We'd have a deep squad.
So their best five players would be our squad players, is what you're saying.
Essentially, yeah.
See, I'll be honest, Partey probably would walk in there, but I haven't seen enough of him to say that for certain.
What about Pepe?
He's just not been...
No, Pepe, I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Is it Pepe?
You know what it
Because
is?
Pepe, before he came to Arsenal, was like the next big deal, right? Out there on the right wing.
There's a lot of players that before they came to Arsenal, they were the next big deal.
Yeah, it's true.
But I mean, do you think that Pepe could do better in a squad that's better?
It's a
Or
good
is it just the difference in the difficulty between the Prem and the league that he came from?
Yeah, I think that would be the main thing. I mean, when you're playing you go from League to the Premier League, that's a huge difference. So, but Ndombele kind of had the same adaptment where he didn't start off great. They had to do the translator things that we saw in the documentary, and then he started getting just to it. And now look at the situation that he's in. So, difficult if Pepe would walk into a team.
People may call Ndombele a crybaby or whatever if the reason that he was pulled out. But look, I'm telling you, if I was Ndombele and I got pulled out for Harry Winks, I'd be upset too. I would.
I don't think he's a crybaby.
There's people that are calling him a crybaby.
Well, fair enough. There's people that say a lot of shit. But like...
There's people that call Harry Kane a snake.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't think Harry Kane's a snake per se. I think he handled the situation wrong. But I do think that I think I would have to say that while I agree that Ndombele has a mentality problem, right? He's not I don't think he's necessarily a good influence on the squad or a good person to be there. His quality is excellent, and he's not wrong to be upset for how he was treated at the end of last season, I think. But you don't do that by, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You prove people wrong. At least that's my mentality. Like, my mentality is if you talk crap about me or you put me down or you doubt something that I'm doing, I'm usually going to get back at you by proving you wrong rather than proving you right, right? So that's the only issue I have with Ndomballer.
Ndomballer.
I wish he would have sorted out his situation because that man had something with him. He's got mad skills. I mean...
The skills aren't everything.
Yeah, mentality's... In my opinion, mentality more than technical ability.
This shit could only happen at Spurs, man. I'm telling you, this could only happen.
And Arsenal.
Well, no, to be top tier, you need both. You need a lot of skill and the right mentality.
Yeah, but look, who would you pick if you were a manager and you had to get two players? If you had to pick one player on your team and you had these two options, Højbjerg and Ndombele, who would you pick?
do what?
You're picking Højbjerg,
To
aren't you?
just get into their team.
Oh, well, to play in Højbjerg's position, I'd pick Højbjerg.
Exactly. That, you see, mentality is more than, because
Yeah, but Danny, Højbjerg, Ndombele's not a holding mid though.
Right. I don't know that I'd pick Højbjerg to... Yeah.
no, it's not as if your team is needing CDM. I'm saying if you could pick any, like your first player, if you're starting a new club and you get your first player, you have
You're playing
no players
five
from
aside. You're playing
yeah,
five
yeah,
aside.
playing five aside. Who
And
do
you
you
had to
take?
pick
Oh,
one
five
for your
aside,
team.
it'd be Ndombele.
Yeah, 'cause he's got more skills,
Baller
so-
as a five-a-side player.
Yeah, Sunday League.
Five-a-side is definitely going to be Ndombele.
But I do like work rate and passion
Attitude. Oh, no.
as long as you're not worthless, right? Because Lamella had passion and
That's
work
true.
rate, but
The
he
class Stefan Freud. He had all the passion and work rate. Not a lot of skill.
Chihausery.
you gotta get you gotta get players that have a balance of both, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mr. Wobbles asks, who plays on the left wing if we miss out on Adame? Hill? No, Son. That's who plays on the left wing. Easy
Ryan
answer.
Hill. I'm
mean,
not gonna go with
If he keeps the same system and Kane plays, it's definitely going to be Son. Or would you move Son over to the left and drop...
Or to the right, you mean?
Sorry, to the right and drop Moira?
No.
I play Brian Hill.
No, and play Bergwijn. See, honestly, and I couldn't give you a reason, so don't ask me for one. I've got no logic behind this other than, like, I've got a feeling that Bergwijn's going to come good this season. And I base that on absolutely fuck all, for the record.
Well, hey, but you know what I appreciate, though? And this is the second time that's happened tonight. When somebody kind of comes out now with a landish opinion or something that's a little bit out there, and I'm on stream, people have to preface this with, I don't have any logic for it.
I don't know, but
I'm starting to rub off on people, I guess. They're starting to preface.
I'm just like, I have zero logic for it. I just got a gut feeling that he's going to come good.
Just crazy.
Cody
how
needs to take notes. No, I'm just kidding.
Cody.
He's out there.
Because honestly, I think there's a player in there. I really do.
I don't know. I don't see enough. I don't really see enough focus for my liking. I don't see enough awareness, or maybe as you could even call it, IQ in front of the in the box.
From who? From Bergwijn?
Yeah. Like he may bring the ball up. He's good at running the ball up or moving the ball into the attacking third. But have you ever seen him make a run or position himself in a place that gives him a really good opportunity to score? Not very often.
Not very often, but we've seen it a few times. It's just, I think, for me, I think it's a confidence problem. Because if it weren't a confidence problem, we saw it in the preseason friendlies. There was one where he had clean on goal and he decided to play it to Sonny. In preseason...
Let me ask you, sorry to interrupt, but let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
Right. When was the last time that you saw him put himself in a position where he had a tap in?
That game that I just mentioned.
The one time in the last 2 years?
Not in the last 2 years, because he's... Well, I think that's where I actually credit Dele Alli. Because Dele Alli actually gets himself in the positions. That's a pretty good point, because I've never really seen Bergwijn drift himself into the position where he's clean on goal. I think that's why I say it's a confidence problem. Because he's like, oh, if I get that, and then I hit it, and then it goes over the bar, I'm going to get slated on.
But I think confidence is an effect of the fact that he's not very good at putting himself in goal-scoring positions. What do you think, Stel?
I don't think it's a confidence issue. I don't think this is a confidence issue.
You don't think he's got it?
What do you think about him putting himself in high opportunity areas? Because it doesn't seem to me like he's doing a good job of that.
You think it's a football IQ thing then still?
Yeah. I do. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, we talk about Bergwijn, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's two things. I think one is he's not getting enough game time. And like with any player, they've got to be given a chance. And he hasn't really... I was saying it on Bob's stream earlier. Give him 10 games in a row. Like a full game. Okay, if he comes off with 5-10 minutes, that's okay. But give him a full, 80, 90 minutes, 10 games in a row in the same position. Let him cement him. Let him, cement his place in the squad. Let us see what he can do week in, week out. And then we can decide. And then we can assess his decision making. At the moment, his decision making isn't great. It's not. In the final third, and I've always said I don't know if that's something you can teach once you get to a certain age. When you're a kid, you can teach it. But some players just have it. They just see it and they do it. Other players, it just doesn't quite click. But we won't know. We won't know unless he plays. I just want to see him play 10 games, then I can tell you what I think of him. But I also said the same about Dele Alli, Lo Celso, Ndombele, Tanganga, the whole squad except for Kane and Son and Lloris. I want to see them play 10
and
games.
Højbjerg.
Yeah, and Højbjerg, yeah.
But I mean, you've got those players, though, right, where the ball just always seems to find them in the box. And that's not by mistake, right? That's because they're putting themselves in, they're reading the passage of play and they're putting themselves in the position that gives them the best opportunity.
Which player?
The ball always tends to find Harry Kane in the box. The ball always tends to fall at... Yeah.
No. I agree. But Harry Kane, how many games in a row has he played?
Oh, all of them.
That's my point. That's my point. When he first came onto the scene, he wasn't looking good at all. Then he went on loan. Then he came back. He still wasn't looking good. And it wasn't until Soldado Adebayor went to shit and we got forced to play him, and he's playing every single week, then it came together for him. And I just think with young players especially, they need game time. It's the most important thing.
He's still young, isn't he, really?
Yeah, he's young. He's like 22, 23.
23. Yeah. I mean, that's not super young.
He needs time in the Premier League. Listen, I'm not convinced by Bergwijn. I tell you now, I'm not convinced. I don't look at Bergwijn and think, yeah, that's a
like
player.
even take a player like Reguilon, and while he hasn't scored many goals or if any, he always seems to be that guy who picks up that first ball just outside the box. Right, he's always there, running up into it, and I always see Bergwijn coming late into the box. As a winger, and I think he's just. I don't think he thinks far enough ahead in order to make decisions quickly enough.
I don't know.
I don't like to talk about my son continuously. I do because he's my son.
Do you know what, guys?
I don't think Mourinho helped him though.
Do you know what, guys? You're kind of right, actually. I'm just thinking about this a bit more now. You're kind of right, because if you look at Brian Hill against Pacos de Ferreira, I know they're not a great side, but if you look at his decision making, it was quality. When to lay off the ball, when to spot a killer pass, the weight of the pass, when to square it back, where to put the pass, where to move off the ball. He's clearly he's obviously born with intelligence, or he's been coached fantastically well. So, there is an element in saying that maybe just Bergwijn hasn't got it.
Yeah, he's like 2 or 3 seconds behind, it seems, all the time.
Well, I've got his heat map, his average heat map from like most of his games on the screen. So you can see very, like, in that penalty spot, for a forward, that's not that much to be like in that attacking position. It's like inside the small box. There's not barely any heat map in there.
Well, I want to point some things out. If you look at where his farthest positions up inside the box, those aren't dangerous areas. That's not a red zone.
Exactly.
Right? the two little dots behind that is where you really want to position yourself. And then his far wing play is quite deep. But regardless of heat maps, I mean, heat maps just kind of tell you where you spend a lot of the time, and it really depends on who you're playing and the amount of possession that your club has had. If
this is just average, like, of all the times that he's played for Tottenham.
All 2 years combined?
Well, last season and when he's played for this season.
Yeah, but last season, that's going to skew that heat map anyway, because, like, Mourinho had him playing, like, super defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even he didn't play a lot under Jose either. So
no, but when he did play, he had him playing super fucking defensive. Well, he had us all playing super defensive.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it seems like his decision making is just a bit slow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing: if he doesn't start scoring goals and he doesn't start creating assists, then that's what he will be judged on. If he doesn't start doing that, then it's gonna almost be like we just got a runner on the pitch. We just got someone that runs a lot and works hard, and twice a game he does a bit of amazing skill, but there's nothing after it.
I mean, he has to though. He has to.
That's what I mean. Something has to happen, doesn't it? Right?
Oh yeah. I think Nuno likes what he's seen of Gil though, because like, or Hill, or however you pronounce his name, like, because he's mentioned him a couple of times, like during his press conferences and that.
I like what I've seen from Hill. Well, I don't know what you think. What you think? Because you haven't been the biggest Hill fan.
So I'll say, I was asked this question earlier to you. Everybody wants to know my opinion on Hill now. They want to rub it. They want to rub it in. No, my opinion hasn't changed. And I gave this analogy. Was it on Bob's? It was on Bob's channel earlier, and I'll give it again just quickly. Brian Hill against PDF was in the second leg. He was decent in the first leg, but in the second leg, especially in the first half, some of his decision making was excellent. I mean, his first run that he made, coming in from center of the field, in between into the half space and in getting the ball in a round where he was back on goal and played that ball back into the penalty spot. That run of play was beautiful. It was fantastic. I mean, that you couldn't have asked for anything better. The only difference is and like for people who watch Bob streams, you already know what I'm going to say, but my son had trials this week. And on Tuesday, he played with the first team, and they were bigger, faster, stronger than him. And he held his own, but he struggled, right? Because he had to run more, he had to be more physical. He had to. He didn't have as much time on the ball, right? He didn't have that yard of space, and he got wore out real quick. He was already out of shape anyway. But then a day and a half later, he plays with the B team from this new club. And he dominates them, chipping keepers, crossing people over, putting the goalkeeper on the ground with body feints, scoring goals both ways. And that was only coming down from here to here in the youth side, right? So if Brian Hill is doing that against PDF, that's great. But until he does that exact same thing against the Premier League side, I can't say that he's what he is, right? Because there is a difference. The margins, even though they're razor thin, and he's got to be able to, be able to do that in the league.
Yeah, but here's my question. Yeah, go on.
No, carry on.
But here's my question. What more does he have to do in the Conference League to prove his point that he should be able to get minutes in the Premier League? Because if you're saying that he should be, let's see if he can perform like that in the Premier League. When will he ever play his minutes in the Premier League?
Oh, he'll get them.
Whenever Nuno decides to put him in.
Yeah, I think Nuno will bring him on. I don't think he'll be starting games. I think he'll be subbed on. But, at the end of the day, the jury's out on him, isn't it? He is what he is, an exciting prospect.
Oh, we
Yeah.
love an exciting prospect at the lane.
Yes, we do.
We're all full of prospects. That's it.
Right.
It's always the one for the future, never the one that we need.
Yeah, but the trouble with us is, as a fan base, we like to overhype the exciting prospects as well.
No, some people as a fan base like to overhype things. I don't overhype. I'm not an overhyper.
But you're not the fan base either, Will.
No, I'm not. I wish
You're
there's
a
more.
You're
fan.
not very negative. You're very guy, Will.
You roboted there. We couldn't hear what you said.
That you're not a very positive guy.
I am a positive guy. I'm very positive.
Shots fired.
Oh, gunshot.
Everybody put in your super chats to make him like Brian Hill more.
That's right. Super chats make me less negative.
Yeah.
But no, Yid Kid, don't get brainwashed into this. You know,
Yeah.
we lost because it was raining or the sun was shining in somebody's eyes.
Oh,
Crew,
definitely
don't
not.
don't get in that
Definitely
crew. Can't let that happen.
Logic FC.
Yeah, that's right. Be skeptical. Always skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
Never cynical. Right. Never cynical, but always skeptical.
Yeah. Speaking of your son playing football, I actually had a match today.
Did you win?
We won 2-0. It was the first game of the season. It was a pretty good game. It was good momentum, but we didn't really even play that well.
That's good. That's good.
It's,
Do you? What league do you play in?
well, it's called the Broward League.
Broward League. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got our number today now. I was actually shocked to find out what number I got.
What number did you
Because
get?
I've always looked up to Son. I've always looked up to Son Heung-min. So when I found out I was number 7, it was just like
Good
massive for me. I've always looked up to Sonny. So a lot of weight on my back, but hopefully one day I'll wear that same number in a Tottenham Hotspur jersey.
That's true.
Do you know there's this club in my league, right? And normally the way it works is if you've got, let's say, for example, 10 teams in your club, each team has got their own set of numbers. So the goalie's number 1. Some of the kids are taking number 21 now because of Donnarumma, because he wears 21. But whatever. And then number 2, 3, 4, 5, and everyone gets a number, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. There's this one club in my league. They couldn't be bothered to sort out the kit numbers for each team. So what they did was they said, right, how many kids have we got in the club? We've got 150. And they ordered 150 kits with the numbers 1 to 150 on the back. So there's kids playing with 69, 112, 92. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, so you're coaching, sorry to swear, Dan. So I'm coaching on the sidelines and you're like, Tommy, pick up 113. Pick it up. Pick up 100.
So the way they do it here, and it's because in the higher leagues in the United States, you can't have dual numbers, and so in order to have people be able to either move up and down and or guest play in travel leagues, you can't have duplicate numbers. Otherwise, you have to take like tape and make a different number out of a number that's already there, and that looks really bad. So normally what they do is they'll take 3 years. So they'll say you'll take like the 05s, the 06s, and the 07s. And they'll do, the 05s will be 1 through, 36 even numbers. The 06s will be 1, 2 or odd numbers, 2 through 36 even numbers. And then the 07s will be like, 36 to 37 to, 58, 59. So, so that way that if they want to play up or they, move around or go left or go, right or up and down, they can do that. And then after those 3 years, they'll shift it back down. So like the 08s and 09s and the 010s will have a different set of numbers. That's what they do here. So we do have some people that have like 68 and 69 and 72. Although we try to avoid.
You don't
No,
have
it doesn't.
149 and 196.
No 3 digits. No 3 digits. And then to be honest with you, I think the highest at the last club in North Carolina, I think the highest one was I want to say 80s. as high as it went.
Yeah.
We tend to skip numbers like 69 here in the United States, as those have.
Speaking of number sevens,
Negative
have you heard that Ronaldo, the Premier League is trying to there's a situation with Ronaldo where he wants to get the number 7, but that I haven't looked too much for it, but I just want to see Ronaldo with a Manchester United jersey with a number 7 in the back. Anything other than 7 wouldn't feel right.
Why couldn't
Did
they already register Cavani with a 7 or something?
I guess that could be, but it's just like when Messi got number 30, it didn't feel right. If Ronaldo gets any number other than 7, it wouldn't feel right to me.
Didn't he used to be like 18 or something like that?
In Manchester United, I don't think so. I think when he went to Real Madrid, he was number 9. And then he went to number 7, obviously.
But it's just 25, and it really messes with him, and he has a terrible season.
I think he was like 18.
Yeah, I like that thinking.
At some point.
Never going to happen, but
another thing is that it will mess up his whole brand. He's not going to be called CR25.
No, he'll still call himself CR7, even though he's not number 7 at the club, right?
Yeah,
that's what happens when you put a number in your logo.
Is that where we're at now? The club has to change how it operates because one player joins them and they've got to. The thing is, they're going to do it because it's such a. By the way, guys, can I ask you a question on this Ronaldo thing? Do you think they've signed Ronaldo? I've got one of 3 theories. They've either signed him because they genuinely think he will make the difference so they can win the league, or they've signed him just to make sure he didn't go to Man City, or they've signed him because the share price has gone up, the kit sales have gone up, and from a marketing media PR move, it's just dynamite. Which one of those 3 do you think it's more likely, or is there an option 4 that I haven't thought
of? For me, I think it's a little bit of column A, B, and C. I think they think he can help. They definitely know they're going to create revenue.
Yeah.
You know,
And they didn't want him going to City. No, that definitely played a part in it, I think.
100%. But I mean, it's not really any different. Bear with me. It's no different to us getting Bale back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like we hoped it would help. We knew it would help the finances of the club. Not that anyone else was in for him, but you know what I mean.
But what's funny is like when he went to Juventus, and this is you can actually verify this. They sold 520,000 shirts in the first 24 hours.
Jesus Christ!
Of his. Which comes out to 57 million pounds in revenue, just in the first 24 hours. It pays for his transfer and wages for the first year, right there. If those same numbers are replicated,
Man United are going to get more kit sales than the actual price they actually paid for Ronaldo. Ronaldo wasn't actually sold for that much.
Yeah, but he's on like 900,000 pounds a week, though.
Yeah, I just find it hilarious how Ben White costs more than Cristiano Ronaldo.
I found it hilarious just because our director of football signed him for a club. People were throwing our name in the hat, and I'm like, on what planet do you think we're paying his wages?
So I'm saying you could though. This is a point I can't remember whose show I made it on. But when you have a world-class player with that kind of marquee value, they pay for themselves. I mean, think about it. If we how many here? Like, I hate.
You say
Enoch.
That, Will, but
hold on. I hate Enoch. I hate Enoch. Mm-hmm. But if Cristiano Ronaldo came to Spurs, I would be in that club shop buying a shirt that day.
Oh, I'm sure you would, but you've also got to remember, it isn't just that. You're doubling that because Harry Kane would also be on his wages as well.
Only because of that silly clause.
Right, but either way, it doesn't take away from, it was never going to happen in a million years.
If that clause wasn't in there, you could get in on it. But now that Gareth Bale's gone, does Harry Kane's wages drop back down?
Well, I don't think his wages went up when Gareth Bale come in.
Yeah, apparently that was the deal in his contract, right? That if he hits wages, if we bring in somebody who gets paid more than them, he gets to be
By the club, and I don't
matched.
think the club was the club paying Gareth Bale more than they were paying him.
Yeah, it was like £260 million or 260,000 pounds a week.
They were paying Gareth Bale a ridiculous amount.
I don't know. Maybe that's why he didn't turn up for training. He had a pay cut. He was pissed. I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to find out, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the amount of money that a marquee signing, and this is what I think big clubs realize that maybe small-minded clubs don't, is that they pay for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to fork it out maybe a little bit in advance, but it pays for itself.
I wonder how many Bale shirts we sold.
Quite a lot.
I bought one.
Not as much as Kane.
I've never bought a Kane shirt.
Heung-min Son must be the number one selling shirt.
Yeah, I bought a Sun shirt.
That could be true.
I've bought a Sun shirt. I've actually bought several Sun shirts because I bought some for my kids as well. I bought a Bale shirt, and I've never bought a Harry Kane shirt.
Apparently,
I had a Harry Kane shirt. I don't know where it went.
Apparently, the majority of the kit sale money goes to the manufacturer, not the actual club.
I don't think that's. I think that's true if you're buying it from somewhere other than the club. But like I mentioned in the group chat the other day, on Twitter, is that if you're buying it from the club shop outside this, that's at the stadium and or online, right? The club is buying those shirts from Nike at wholesale price, right? So the margin is about 42.5%, and or the markup's like 75%. So they buy the shirt for, let's take just the regular replica shirt. You buy the shirt for £45, you sell it for £90. You basically double your money, right? So that if the sales are going into the club shop, that 52 million euros or pounds of revenue is what the club is getting. It may not necessarily be the profit, but that's what you're getting. Now, if you're buying it from like a different store, like soccer.com or something like that, they're probably only get, so Nike pays Tottenham a club or a shirt sponsorship fee, and they probably play maybe 1% or 0.5%, at the high side, 2% royalty for having their logo on the shirt if they're a big popular club. Tottenham may not get that, but I'm sure clubs like Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Barcelona and stuff like that will probably get some type of royalty per shirt too, but it's not going to be a lot. So that's why if you're buying it, so I think I worked out the math. If you're buying it from a retailer outside of the club, they're probably making maybe at most like 60 pence per shirt. If you're buying it from the club, they're probably making close to £45 per shirt.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
So if you really want to buy a shirt and you don't want to support Enoch, throwing them 60 pence may not be that big of a deal, but £45 is definitely, that's a ticket, right?
Is Amazon going to Enoch since they've got the sponsorship deal?
It depends on who, a lot of that merchandise that's on Amazon, like all the knickknacks and all that stuff, the club actually is the wholesaler of that. So yes, the club, but with Amazon sales, if you're doing direct fulfillment by Amazon, you're really only making about 38 to 40%. You don't make a lot. But when you buy that stuff that they make in China or Taiwan that the club sells on their website, they're probably making a good 75% off of that.
Because for my birthday, my mum got me a bunch of stuff from Amazon from Tottenham Hotspur, and I was disappointed in her because she gave money to Daniel Levy.
Anything that's licensed, anything that's officially licensed, the club is going to get some kind of royalty off of, even if the club's not the seller. And for people who are wondering, how does Will know this? I own a brand, so I do that.
And where can we buy stuff from your brand, Will?
You got beer?
DoomsdayTackle.com. If you like bass fishing, that's what I sell.
Well, this
Home
sucks
Steam.
though. I can't buy the actual kit on Amazon.
You may be able to find knockoff. I'm sure you. I think you can. Just depends.
Not on the Canadian.
For sure you
one.
can.
Maybe not on the Canadian. On the US one, I've seen it.
There's so many knockoff stuff in
But
America.
it really just depends on where the retailer is. Like, so we may have like, there are some like stores who also sell on Amazon too. Like they have their own Amazon store, so you can pick stuff up. It's not there. Like you can't buy it directly from the club. I think, although there are some things. I tend to only buy things that are on Amazon Prime anyway, and because if it comes from England, it can't be 2-day shipped. So I tend to not look at that stuff. But
Do you
I used to buy a lot of stuff from the. I used to spend about $2,000 or $3,000 a year at the club shop.
Well,
I haven't done that this year though. Huh?
Says you was a power supporter.
I was paying more than most people's season tickets. But somehow because I'm in the United States and I don't go home and away, I'm not a real fan. I don't support the club. But
That's how fans see it these days.
Well, legacy fans.
Legacy.
What
fans.
even
Where
is the
has-
legacy and legacy fans?
Oh, that's a fucking insult as well. That is.
Absolute piss take, mate.
Oh, it is.
Do you know what a legacy fan is, Dan?
It's the fans that pretty much have all the season tickets. They've been supporting Tottenham for the main part of their life, and they go to the games home and away.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they live at Tottenham, but they think they have some sort of entitlement since they go to every single match, and the people that don't watch, that go to the stadium every single match, there is something less than them.
I got a question though.
That
You
bit,
was almost
that bit,
right.
That last bit is not quite right.
Yeah, you was good up until the last bit.
Until you cussed us all.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, still, I'm not a
Jeez.
legacy fan though, because I haven't seen Tottenham play in like 18 years.
Not all legacy fans are bad. It's just the ones that think they have some special entitlement.
As in live, I've obviously seen them play, but I haven't
know-
actually been to the ground in 18 years.
Do you know what I thought a legacy fan was? It's a fan that was supporting the club for more than 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years. They've been supporting the club for 30, 40, 50 years, and they've seen Tottenham do well, and they just want things done a certain way. For example, we don't want red on the kit. We want football played a certain way before we win trophies. We want, Bill Nicholson's ideology respected. We don't necessarily want this big global fan base as much as we'd rather have the core fan focused on first. I think it's more of it like a historical, old school fan, whereas the modern fan will buy a kit like the new kit, which is purple, yellow, red, green, whereas a legacy fan is against that. It's like, no, that's not Tottenham. What's that about? That's for marketing. That's not Tottenham. I think that's what the difference is. It's not an entitlement.
See, in that case, I'm almost a legacy fan. You're muted
Oh, you
still.
are, man.
Oh no.
He's not muted.
Oh no, there you go. Somehow,
I have another question though.
I think
Have
we're
you guys
both legacy
noticed-
fans.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
probably-
actually like that new away kit though, so that counts me out.
That's it. 40 years down the drain for you.
I know, I've blown it, bud. It's all gone.
You're done.
Fuck it. I'm out. Peace.
Have you noticed? Is this a summer thing because it's hot? But that wouldn't make sense.
What?
Have you noticed that most of the games are earlier now than they were last season? Like significantly early. Like they're stacking up that 9 to 10:30 hour time. So that would be the
Well, it's for
12,
TV.
3 p.m.
It's all for TV, Will.
I'm fine for it as long as it's a win.
No, like the 3 p.m. UK time. Have you noticed they've been stacking that time slot? The 2 to 3 p.m. slot?
That's only Sunday because of the teams that play in Europe on a Thursday or a Wednesday. They shift us to the Sunday, don't they?
No, but I mean, like yesterday at that 2 p.m. UK slot, there was like 8 games or like 5 games.
No, it was all 3 p.m. Will yesterday.
That's what I mean.
3 p.m. for you, 8 p.m. for us.
Yeah, but traditionally,
What?
matches are on a Saturday at 3 p.m. Always 3 p.m. kickoff.
They weren't last season though. They always had a like an 8 o'clock game or a 6 o'clock game.
Yeah, that's because of COVID. The whole
yeah.
schedule. Now the stadiums are open. It's 3 o'clock. Last year was good because what they did was so that fans could still engage. They put a lot of games in the evening so that we could watch it.
Yeah,
that was good. It was actually nice, but
it was good for me.
Yeah, for you guys that have got to get up early. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like now most of the games are on like 9 o'clock, dude. I usually don't wake up till like 10.
You know something with those games early on in the morning, especially when it's a Saturday and you lose in the morning, and you have to live you have to go through the rest of the weekend with Tottenham on the back of your mind and Eric Dyer not being able to clear a ball in the back of your mind.
Danny, there was this guy. There was this guy that called up he called up the radio today, and he was from America, and he's an Arsenal fan. He's like, I was up at 5 a.m. to watch this. What the hell? Why did I get up at 5 a.m. to watch this team get destroyed? I'm sick of this shit. And he was going crazy because he was up at 5 a.m. to watch Arsenal. I was like, oh, change your team, bro. Change your club.
I love the 8 p.m. kickoff games because that's 3 p.m. for me here.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Even the 5:30 games are okay. Like if it's like 12:30 in the afternoon, that's all right. But like these 9 o'clock games, dude, it's like I want to go to the pub, but why would I go to a pub at 9 a.m.?
I actually want to.
No, go on, Dan. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I've gone to pubs at 9 a.m.
I know, but it's just weird for me to go to a bar at 9 o'clock in the morning.
You've gone to pubs at 9 a.m. How old are you, Dan?
13.
His dad, I'm sure. Or his uncle, or his grandpa, or whoever it was. It
was my dad.
One of those fake.
The video's up on my channel. The video's
normally
my dad's a police. My dad's a policeman, so that wouldn't be very nice.
Normally in America, still, sports bars allow children in. It's usually after 10 that they require you to have. After 10 p.m., you have to have ID. You have to be over 21 to enter. So, but like, because normally sports bars in the United States, they serve food and stuff like that. So
chicken wings. The chicken wings are good.
Same as us. Can I ask you? You know, in America, like with your sports, so with football, it's always the best when you go to a live game in the stadium and it's at night time, like a 7, 8, 9 o'clock kickoff, under the floodlights. You got the night vibe. It's always the best atmosphere. Always a nighttime game. I don't know why. There's just something about a night match. Is it the same in America with like basketball, NFL, baseball?
Most basketball games, I think, usually are at night.
Yeah.
They play indoors, so it doesn't really matter the time. So I think they do that. Ice hockey tends to be at night as well.
What about when it's open air? Like
open
NFL?
air, they'll like for baseball sometimes they'll like weekday games will usually be in the evenings. Weekend games usually can be earlier. Same with football. Like in America we have, Monday Night Football. We'll have one match that's at night and then on a Monday and then
But is the atmosphere better normally for the night games?
Yeah, I like night matches better. First of all, it's just cooler. You know what I mean? Like the sun's out of the way. I've always liked, even when my kid plays, when we play night matches, which isn't very often, I always enjoy them a lot better.
Like the atmosphere for a night match is always amazing in football. I don't know what it is. It's almost like you're going extra out, just not normal out.
Yeah. Look, guys, I've got to go. Thanks for having me.
You gotta go,
Will.
you said?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Will.
Plug your channel, my friend.
Well, we will be making a few improvements in the background. I don't know if you can see. Not to the level of Will, because Will has a whole studio there. But I'm trying. I ordered the Spurs 100 jersey like a long time ago, and it's getting here at the end of the month. So the Spurs official takes such a long time to ship their stuff. I plan on putting it there, where the Juventus jersey was. It's gonna, and then I'm gonna put LED lights on the top, which is gonna hopefully. I put LED lights, but it looks like they keep. It's not really good. I'm trying to get better ones, but yeah, and also I'm starting to do more videos on my channel as well since the season is now like started. So I'm starting new shows. I'm gonna be starting the show where with fans from the other teams are gonna go through the game before the game to see what they think from the opposition perspective. And I'm also doing a few videos to explain the Europa Conference League teams that we're playing against, because a lot of them are really unknown, to tell you where they're from, where they're based, and a little bit of information about them.
Good deal, man. Thanks for coming on. Everybody make sure you go over and subscribe to the Good Kid, which is Dan THFC, right? That's your main channel now? That's the one you're focusing on?
Yeah, it's going to be Dan THFC, and now I can do live streams as well, so it's a lot better.
Very good. So everybody make sure you go in and subscribe to Dan THFC. And I'm telling you what, for a 13-year-old boy, he definitely knows what he's talking about. For a lot of 20-year-old boys, he knows what he's talking about. And his shows are actually very... For a lot of mature podcasts, he knows what he's talking about. His shows are really structured. His shows are more structured than mine, which isn't hard to do, but they are. So make sure you go. You know, he plans for him. He's got lists. He's got topics. You know, he follows it down. He's got, overlays for each one of his little points and talks. And so it's a quality show. I've been on it a few times, and it's always a good time. So make sure you guys go support him.
Thanks for having me, Will.
Thank you for coming on, my friend.
See you later, Dan.
And big up the Id Kid. That's correct.
Big up the Id Kid. I love this guy name, the Chemist. So
Chemist, yep. He's Korean.
It's a great name.
And he's probably a chemist.
He sounds like he should be in a rave.
Or one of those Netflix series, The Chemist.
It's true.
Ooh, the lineup tomorrow.
And Reload's asking me FPL questions. You got to say that for Wednesday, my friend. Wednesday. That's when I do my FPL show. Will I wild card for game week 4 or 5? I don't know. I have to look at my team and see what their fixture list looks like before I decide to do that. But we'll talk about that on Wednesday. But what are you guys starting lineups for tomorrow?
I hope we bring Romero in. I'd like to see a back three. Dyer, Sanchez, Romero. Wing backs, Tanganga, Reggie. Actually, Tanganga is a wing back. I don't know about that.
Yeah, but what's your other option?
Bergwijn, Reggie.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
What's interesting? I've been saying it for like 8 months.
Well, so have I. I mean, I said
then why is it interesting?
I was just thinking that.
It's interesting that Stel's saying it.
Why? He's been saying it for a while too.
Because I'm the Messiah.
Not really, but he may have done, but I've never heard him say that.
Because I've never ever wanted us to play back three, but now we've got Nuno and we've got Romero. Maybe it's possible.
I mean, it's possible. I don't think he will, though.
In fact, Jason, the reason I'm saying it is because I just don't want to see us play 4-3-3-2 holding mids. It pisses me off. I just think it's such a negative tactic. I don't like it, and we're getting away with it. The only reason it works against City is because we actually played 5 in midfield because Dele and Bergwijn dropped in, and I don't think Nuno instructed them to do that. I think they naturally thought if we don't tuck in, there's not enough defense for the wing backs. Against Wolves, we were so stubborn with the 4-3-3. We just gave up possession time after time after time. So I'm hoping, because we're at home, we're playing against a lower level opposition. The only way we're going to be on the front foot is if we play 3 at the back. So I'm thinking Dyer, Sanchez, Romero, Reggie, Bergwijn, I'd play one holding mid, Højbjerg,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd probably go with a midfield 3 in front of the one holding mid. I'd go with Son up front. I wouldn't start Kane. Dele Alli, Mora.
Let's go with.
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, do you know what? No,
What?
I'd put Dele in the middle. I'd put Mora wide. I'd start Brian Hill and play Son up front. Yeah, so Hill wide, Mora the other side, Dele in the middle, with Højbjerg behind, Son up front, and then the wing backs of Bergwijn and Reggie. Yeah, I'd do that. And then I've got Skip on the bench to come on. I've got Kane to come on off the bench. I've got Tanganga to come off the bench. It's not bad options to come off the bench.
I think you're going to see the same lineup and the same team from the first two matches. Yeah,
Sakes,
I
4-3-3.
do.
Oh, God.
I genuinely think you are. Except
You're going to win 1-0 or 2-0 and that's it.
Or if there's going to be any change, you're probably going to be Son moved to the left, Bergwijn off, and Kane up front. For as much as I'd like to see what you said, still, that's what I think you're going to see.
Do you think he'll start Kane then? You think he will, yeah?
Honestly, I think he will. I don't think. We'll soon see if he's got balls, because if he's got balls, he won't.
But if you want to continue to play Bergwijn, right, and you want to be a little bit more attacking and not have two holding mids in that 4-3-3, why can't you play 4 at the back? You know, Dele as left mid, Bergwijn as right mid, Mora in front of Bergwijn, Kane, Son. Because Bergwijn can be defensive. He can handle that defensive duty. Then he can.
So what's that? A 4-1-4-1?
No, so it's a 4-3-3, right? Højbjerg's just the only holding mid in that 4-3-3. You got Dele on the left, Bergwijn on the right, Mora on the right wing, Son on the left wing, and Kane playing striker.
So what's that? Two centre mids or two attacking mids?
Yeah, 2 center mids. Have Bergwijn play as an 8.
2 centre mids.
Box to box. I think Bergwijn could be a good right-sided number 8. Just as good as Dele.
Well, he's got the engine for it.
And even if you were to play a 3-5-2, I'd like to see the same thing. I'd like to see a 3-5-2 with Højbjerg, Dele.
See, if it was me, and I know I said I could see Bergwijn doing things, but if you're playing that system, I would probably play Lo Celso instead of Bergwijn.
Bergwijn's been better than Lo Celso, in my opinion.
Oh, man, Lo Celso really needs to step it up, you know.
He does, and he needs, but like you were saying, if you don't get game time, how can he?
Yeah, but you got to put in a shift when you come on. Yeah, he had a good second half against PDF, but, I mean, come on. He didn't look as good as Brian Hill. And Brian Hill's 19 years old, 20 years old, right? So it's like everybody was bigging up Lo Celso like he was some kind of genius on the pitch, and he wasn't. I didn't see it.
What the hell are we going to do with Ndombele? He's just not going to play for us. Is that it now? And if we can't sell him, look, we've got 2 days left to sell him or loan him or something.
Yeah, but
I don't think we're going to sign anyone else, to be honest with you. I'll be surprised.
No, I think we will. I think you got
I'll
one, maybe 2 more.
Might sign that Malabi or whatever his name is.
He's really good, by the way. He's a good player.
As far as Ndombele goes, it's like, who's paying for him?
Levy?
No, to leave. Like, who's buying it?
A loan with an option probably is what will happen.
Or a swap deal. It's got to be a swap deal.
Or a loan with an obligation or something like that.
That just depends on what value we put on him then, doesn't it?
We're not taking anything less than 50 million, surely.
Right, and it's... Yeah.
How can we? Are you can take a £20 million hit just like that?
But instead of Moriba,
Right.
I'd rather see Tomiyasu come in than Moriba.
Do you know the worst thing is though? You know the minute he leaves, he's probably going to have the season of his fucking life.
They always do.
He was brilliant in France. He was so good, man.
Even in France, he wasn't that great. He had 1.5 good seasons in France. You guys remember he was playing in the third tier of French football like 3 years ago.
Right, but that 1.5 seasons, he was fantastic.
They played different type of football, the team he was in. They played really, really good football, and it just suited him. I've always said that he's a player that needs to be in a team that plays football the right way.
He also wasn't on 200K a week either.
No, he wasn't. Who the fuck put him on that? Who thought, I know, let's put him on more money than Heung-min Son.
So let's put a 23-year-old kid who hasn't done it, who just came out of the third tier of French football, at that time, 2 years earlier. And
that would be Daniel Levy, the very smart businessman, so people keep telling me.
Yeah, so they say. But it's
John
still a
Fitzpatrick
criminal.
in the comment. Sorry, Will.
No. Does anyone know much about Sarr?
Yeah, brilliant. Honestly, I'm so happy we bought him. I'm in a coaches group, and two of the coaches are scouts for Man United, and they were looking at Sarr. Man United wanted Sarr. I don't know how we've ended up getting him, but we have. And listen, for 18 years old, he's powerful, he's tall, he's strong, he moves with power, he's a good tackler, he knows how to play a pass forward, he can score. There's a lot to his game. He plays very similar to Yaya Toure, and for 18 years old, he's solid. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question then? So next year he'll be 19, and just say he goes into that. Who's he replacing?
Do you know what? He plays in the position Højbjerg and Skip play, but he travels forward well. And that's what I mean. He's not a centre mid, but he's not a holding mid. He's kind of in between the two. So you play him as like a holding mid, but give him the freedom to go forward. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say he reminds me of Yaya Toure.
A backup for Højbjerg, basically, while he's still young.
Yeah, but he's on loan.
Like, who would you drop to play him? Like, when he comes?
I don't know if I'd drop him. Jason, do you know what? I don't know if I'd drop him, but it's a good player joining the squad. So
kind of plays maybe that Sissoko role next to Højbjerg, or? Well,
there's games where you think, right, on comes Sissoko, on comes Winks. When you don't have to do that now. Bring him on.
You got some class coming on.
Yeah. You got some. He's going to need a year or two to adjust to the Premier League,
and he's young enough that year or two's perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's going back on loan to Metz for a year, but for me, that's a very, very good signing, and I think Spurs fans will see it in a couple of years. He's a good player.
I don't like waiting a couple of years to see.
None of us do, Will. None of us do.
Yeah, but whilst I do want for the now,
can we send Winks to Metz on loan and then bring him in now?
I'm going to tell you something. I've got a funny feeling that Winks is actually going to have a good season under Nuno. He's not going to have a great season.
What are you basing that on?
Did you watch the first 2 games that he played in the Conference League?
I thought on Thursday he played all right. He played all right, and I just think that he will be forced to step up his game now, because whereas before he started quite a lot of games, now Skip's outplaced him. Any way we look at it, Skip has taken his spot. So if Winks doesn't up his game, he's done. And I think that's just going to push him.
I think he needs to go to Newcastle on deadline day.
Listen, if we could say him, I wouldn't say no. But I think if he does stay, he'll be better than what we're used to.
Because he's got to be. He's not going to be complacent.
He had to be good last year too, and he didn't give a crap.
No, but was he complacent last year?
Well, who was his competition?
He didn't have a spot either. Ndombele and Lo Celso were playing in his spot, and he still didn't.
It's true. I don't know, man. Like, he's at. I don't know. Still, maybe you're right, but for me, he's had too many chances.
Yeah, but I think, listen, he was good under Poch for a while, and then he had those injuries, and then when he came back from his injuries, we started playing him holding mid, and he's not a holding mid. I've always said that. He's never been a holding mid. I don't get it. And then, obviously, Jose came in, and everything went to shit for 2 years. Now there's a new manager. The new manager's brought back Skip, and he's given Skip a chance with Højbjerg.
Year and a half, to be honest. And Harry Winks was shit under Poch for those last 6 months too.
The whole team was really Will.
That's true. But what do we sign in Moriba for if we have Sarr? Moriba. Isn't he a defensive midfielder as well?
No, he can't be. He's a centre mid, isn't he?
Like a number 8, box-to-box midfielder?
Am I talking about the right player?
I thought he was more in like
I thought he was more like an 8-6 type player. Moriba. See, this is the problem with our club, man. Whenever we need a position, we just go ape shit and start buying 30 of them. And then leaving the fact that, forgetting the fact that we don't have a right winger at all.
and we can't play them all at once.
Go and look at the history of Juventus's transfers under Paratici and just look at what he did. This is exactly the same thing. He'll buy 8 or 9 players. 5 of them will be an absolute fucking flop. Half of them we will sell the following year because it hasn't worked out. And then there'll be 2 or 3 that work out. And then that's what everyone will give him the Don status for, because he discovered 2 or 3 out of the 8. Just go and
poor odds. I could do that.
Well,
How dare you besmirch the Don's name like that?
I'm dispersing it now. I'm telling you right now, dude, I could do just as good a job purchasing players as the people who have purchased players for this club over the last 5 years. I could.
Well, I mean, even a blind darts player hits the ball once in a while.
Well, no, I'm telling you I could. I could have avoided a lot of the mistakes, to be honest with you.
This is why I wasn't impressed that we got Paratici in, because when I looked at his history at Juventus, listen, he unearthed some real gems. He really did. But he also bought, funnily enough, his worst signings were the ones he spent the most money on. When he spent big money, it was a fuck up.
Yeah, but didn't he buy that Arsenal player?
That was a free, but they just put him on high wages.
Oh, but the wages he was on.
Yeah, 400 grand. I know. Ramsey, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they signed Higuain for stupid money, and Higuain was nowhere near the player he was at his previous clubs.
I mean, that can happen with any player, though.
Can it, though?
Yeah, you can sign a player and everything looks good until he gets there, and then it don't fucking pan out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's about mitigating risk, right?
It is. But you look at the transfer record of most clubs; it's not all sunshine and roses.
No, it's not. It's not.
Not every player you sign in any club is a home run.
No, because there's nothing that's guaranteed, right?
Right. So
the good thing with Juventus is they managed to rotate players, like replenish the squad. So if they need to get rid of players, they were quite good at it. But when it came,
that's because they spend 150, 200 million euro a year.
No,
I mean,
look, they were good at getting rid of players when they had to. Whereas if you look at Tottenham, it's taken us 8 years to get rid of Lamela.
Historically.
But the reason why they were good at it is because they were continually in Champions League year after year after year. So when you're a Champions League club, the little clubs want to buy your players.
But I'll give Paratici his due, though. He's managed to at least move some of the dross out this season so far.
No, I mean, because I'm telling you, it's the big club bias, right? If Barcelona's selling people, people are buying. Why? They play for Barcelona.
Huh?
Who's he moved?
Well, Sissoko's gone now.
That's one.
He's got rid of Joe
For
Hart.
£3 million, he's gone.
Yeah, but listen, dude. You could have given me 50 cents. I'd have said go.
We could just let him out of his contract.
No, fair play. Right. No, fair play. Sissoko's gone. Fair play. Then you've got rid of
Lamela's gone. Joe Hart's gone.
Can I say Lamela, for me,
yeah,
out of the 8 players I would have got rid of, he would have been probably number 7 or 8.
Yeah, he wasn't even first on my priority list, and I didn't like him at all.
Right, but whilst
Aurier,
you're right,
Doherty,
he was.
yeah.
Yes, whilst you're right, Doherty they were never going to sell. I don't
He's so
think.
shit. He was shit on Thursday as well.
He was diabolical, dude. Like
He's so
fucking.
bad. What a waste.
His talking of decision making for someone that's supposed to be like a semi-attacking minded like wing back. It's like past fucking. He had so many times that the player was making runs for the give and go, and he wasn't giving the dude the ball. It was driving me nuts. It's just his decision making is fucking terrible.
It's like Ben Davis. He shouldn't be at the club anymore, man. Ben Davis isn't good enough. He's not.
Yeah, he's a bit of a goof as well.
But he has got rid of Sissoko, and I think they're trying to get rid of Aurier. It's just like fucking. It's not. I mean, and the other thing with it is, it's easy to sit here and say get rid of them. It's another thing to get rid of them. You know what I mean?
How's it another thing to get rid of him? You don't think that we could sell Harry Winks if we wanted to? If we really wanted to get him out of the club, you don't think we could sell Harry Winks?
We pay
We
relative
didn't
to
pay
the
anything
club.
for Harry Winks.
No, let me finish my sentence, Will, and then you can rip me apart.
All right.
Fuck. We pay our players a decent wage relative to the clubs beneath us. Do you know what I mean? So, like, to move players off, they've got to want to take that fucking pay cut if that's what they're getting.
I mean, what's Harry Winks on? 65, maybe?
He was on 75, I think.
So 75. You're telling me we couldn't offload Winks to like Leicester for £10 million?
Well, first of all, Leicester don't want fucking Harry Winks, do they?
Leicester aren't taking Winks. No.
Like,
10 million?
Second of all,
Brighton, Southampton, they would have taken him.
What about West Ham?
Nah,
yeah, but
they're above us.
I'm pretty sure we've said Harry Winks can go if we get an offer, but no one's come in.
No,
for
if
it.
we get an offer that's reasonable, right?
Right,
the problem
but
is that Daniel Levy wants to make a good 30, 40 million off of his academy guy.
Well, I think we're also coming into the homegrown issue at the moment as well, aren't we?
I don't think.
I think we are.
We haven't sold any British players. We sold Lamela, Sissoko, and Joe Hart. Joe Hart's English.
But
Joe Hart's English.
Who have we brought in though?
Romero, Hill, and
and it evens out.
Golini.
Right, it evens out because Hill counts as
Skip came back into the side. Sessegnon came back into the side. So those are two extra additional people that we have that are homegrown. And Brian Hill's under the age of 23, so he can count. He can count as an academy player.
Right, but then we also got rid of our other goalkeeper, who was a foreign player.
We got rid of him last season, didn't we?
Gazzaniga.
Yeah,
we sent him on loan last year, though.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
That was last year.
But I mean, we've got two.
That's why we brought Joe Hart in.
We have two British players in and one out.
Well, I know we can't. I'm fairly certain when I looked, we can only get one more foreign player in.
That's a lot of flubber blubber, I think.
Is it? Have a look at the squad.
Yeah, because
then.
White on the bench too as a third string keeper counts as one. People like to tout that, but it's not as big as deal as people want to make out.
Well, I don't think it's a big deal. I just think it's math. Like, I'm fairly certain we can only have like one more foreign player as it stands.
No, because we sold Foyth. We sold.
Well, Foyth again wasn't there at all last year, so that doesn't.
We sold Sissoko. We sold Lamela.
Well, actually, with Sissoko gone, that means we can get two. Yeah, I think it was one before Sissoko was sold.
Yeah, Danny Rose is off the books as well. That's another English player.
He wasn't registered last season either.
Do you think he'll get a cheer from the fans if he comes on?
I think we're going to clap him, man. I think we're going to.
I hope so because he deserves that.
Danny Rose did no wrong to the club, to the fans.
We only need 9 homegrown players. We have 9 homegrown players
9 homegrown players
for the EPL.
That's probably why we're going to keep
8.
Winks.
Sorry, 8.
That's probably why we're going to keep Winks.
We only need 8 homegrown players.
Yeah, but how many do we have?
We have more than 8.
Go on then. Who are they?
Tanganga, Skip.
Ganga, Skip, Kane,
Winks.
Davies, Dyer.
Joe Rodon.
Joe Rodon don't count as homegrown.
For the EPL, he does.
Yeah, he's
Does
Welsh.
he?
Counts, yeah.
The Premier League isn't the problem. It's Europe that's the
Harry
issue.
Winks. Harry Winks. Jack Clark.
Jack Clark, Dane Scarlett.
Dane Scarlett, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even without Harry Winks, we have more than 8.
The third choice goalie, Whiteman.
That's right. Dyer isn't homegrown in the EPL because he came out of Portugal. Yeah. We need to sell him off.
It don't matter, dude. That's the ridiculousness of that rule.
I thought Dyer
count.
reload. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Dyer counted for PL but not Europe as well.
I'm fair. I've heard
He only had to play 3 years. Did he never play for a British academy?
Pretty sure he didn't.
Yeah, you have to play at least 3 years in the academy system to be considered a homegrown player.
Do you know this reload? He's honestly, he's a machine. Everywhere I go, I see reload. Honestly, I think
he messaged me on Discord too all the time. He's everywhere, man. He's
animal,
dedicated.
Spurs animal.
Dedicated.
King of the jungle.
I like him though.
He wasn't in England. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't in England for 3 years. Below 21. Spurs was his first time in England. Yeah, he's right. He's right.
So yeah, he's got to be. He's not considered homegrown at all.
Dele
We need to
Alli.
get rid of him.
Dele Alli.
Dele Alli.
Yep.
We got a bunch, man. We got more than you think. White.
You just forget about Dele Alli nowadays, don't you? After the
Yeah,
past 3
forget about
years.
all kinds of players. I bet we got more than that too. If I were to pick it, who is our 25-man squad right now? Let me pull it up on SofaScore.
Can you get it up on the screen, Will?
Yeah, Karina.
Do you know it's almost 5 a.m. and I'm going Spurs tomorrow. I'm going to the. I'll tell you what, guys. If you ever come to England, I'm going to take you to the We Are Tottenham pie and mash shop. It's brilliant.
Oh, okay. So I've eaten pie and mash on a few occasions.
Yeah.
And there's only one shop I ever ate pie and mash in that I didn't mind it. And that was it was like midway down the the Roman Road Market.
No. What is that?
You know
We've
the Roman Road
got
Market?
Tanganga.
I probably know it, but yeah.
Does Matt Doherty count? He may count.
No, he's Northern.
No.
Is he Northern Irish or Irish?
I think
It doesn't matter though. If he played in the English system before the age of 21, he would count.
I don't fucking know them, Will. I don't know who played where when they were 16, 18.
Let me see. If I click on his name, it'll tell me where he's been playing.
There's only one pie and mash shop around there now, Jason, and it's the one that's just opened up across the. To be honest, the pie and mash and the sausage rolls in the stadium are brilliant. Like the food's really good. Yeah, the food's really good in the stadium now.
It never
really
used
good.
well. The food outside the stadium was always like carpet burgers.
They've all gone. White Hart Lane. He's trounced them all, mate. He's trounced them all.
Roman Road's in Bow.
Yeah, bloody hell. You're talking about East London.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's the market my mum used to take me to when I was a nipper. But the pie and mash down the middle of Roman Road Market was good.
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't qualify, no. Yeah,
No.
All pie and mash in East London is brilliant, but the shop that's opened up across the road, I promise you, it's not proper pie and mash like old with the proper old school, but for a match day place to quickly go in, sit down and eat, I'm telling you, he does a goat curry pie. Fucking wow,
Jesus!
banging, absolutely
you're
banging.
You're talking like premium, like pie.
It's not as
mash
cheap.
there.
Yeah,
goat curry pie.
I know.
Damn. I'm used to like sloppy meat and gristle pie with some like dodgy liquor.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know how many of these players, because these guys are on the under 23s as well.
Well, they're irrelevant, aren't they? The under 23s.
No, because you can list as many under 23s as you need. I think your 25 can only be first team players. You get Dane Scarlett. I don't think he's considered, but let's count Dane Scarlett because I know he's on the first team. We got Dane, Deli, Winks, Skip.
Yep.
Harvey White's on loan. He's not there anymore. Now John's gone as well.
Niall John's on loan.
I think so.
He was good pre-season. Oh yeah, Ryan
Sessegnon.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Ben Davies.
We need to sell Sessegnon. He's not good enough.
Joe Rodin. Cameron Carter-Vickers. That's 8. All we need right there.
How is Carter-Vickers still at the club? How is Carter-Vickers? This guy has been on loan for 6 years. Honestly, he will be at Tottenham at 33 and we're still going to be loaning him out.
We keep extending his contract because Levy doesn't want to miss out on that £2 million sale.
How is Carter-Vickers still at Spurs? I don't understand. Doesn't someone in the club look at that and say, does anyone know what's going on with Carter-Vickers? Does no one in the club look at that and just think, what is going on here? He never, ever, ever plays for Tottenham Hotspur, the first team, ever.
Well, that's because he's not good enough.
So how is he still here after how long has he been here? 6-7 years?
No, he was on loan for like 2 years before that. But yeah, he's been... I think they're just hoping he'll make good because of his size or something. I don't know why they keep keeping him around.
They keep extending his contract because they want to go and sell him, but no one buys him.
Hey, fair play to him though. He's making cash. I mean, not a lot, but he's making it.
And that's what I mean. We're paying him money. With no intention of ever playing him in the first team. I don't get it. I just don't understand.
He's still fairly young, isn't he?
He counts as homegrown though.
Yeah, he's only 23. So, I mean, he's not that old.
He's been with us since he was about 16, 17, this kid.
Yeah.
He's been there 6-7 years. I'm telling you, he needs to go. He needs to go.
I mean, if he's not costing you a lot, if he's only costing you 10, 20 grand a week, I mean, there's no real reason to get rid of him, is there? I mean, who knows? When he's 26, 27, he could be a baller.
Doubt it, but flip it the other way. Is there any real reason to keep him?
No.
Well, if nobody's going to give you £2 million for him, I think we were trying to sell him for 5, right? But nobody came in.
I don't know, man.
He did okay in preseason. He wasn't horrible.
He wasn't great either.
Will, where's Alfie Devine? Is he not on that list?
He's not.
We bought him off Wigan last summer, didn't we?
Yeah, and then also too, you know who else isn't on that list? It's the third string goalkeeper's not on there either.
What Reload said about Brian Hill.
Brian Hill was called John Smith and was bald. Would people rate him and call him the next David Silva Messi?
Basically, what he's saying is if he was English.
He does look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
I wouldn't. Still might, but I wouldn't.
Sorry, Siri's trying to answer Reload's question.
Hey Siri.
Sorry,
Siri,
could you ask that
set
question
an alarm
again?
off.
Fucking hell. Sorry, Will, what would I say?
I said still might. I wouldn't. I could care less if he's British. I could care less if he's American.
I don't care where anyone comes from as long as they're good enough to play for Spurs.
Yeah, I don't care either. Some people might though.
I do like it when a player comes through the academy though. I do like that, but that's because that's what I do. So I like it.
Sure, I like it too. but I don't really care. I think a lot of the times the academy you should be looking to sell down to championship and sides smaller than you.
Well, what they do, Will, they know by a certain age which players they think they're going to keep. Well, they know which players they want to keep, and try to develop them for the first team, and they know which players they want to keep, and sell them to fund the academy and to help fund the first team. So, like Cole Norton, we sold him for 10 million a couple of years ago. They knew they were going to sell him. They deliberately got to a point where they said, right, keep developing him to sell him. And then they sold him for like 10 million. And that funded the academy for 4 years, because the academy costs about 2.5 million to fund. So they do that. They do use the academy as
pay for itself. Sell them off for 5 million a piece here and there once a year, right?
Yeah. And that money also can go towards the first team to buy players and stuff. So the academy is more than just developing players for the first team. It's a money generator. They've got to balance the two. All clubs do that, by the way. All top clubs do that.
That's cool, though. Yep, that's what you got to do. But we got about 15 minutes left before we end the stream here. But what are you guys' score predictions for tomorrow?
I'm going to go with a solid 3-0 to Tottenham.
3-0 to Tottenham.
Yep, I'm feeling confident, which means we're going to lose 2-1.
Oh, shut up. Don't start. I can't handle it. If we lose, I can't handle that. I'll be so pissed. I'll be so pissed off if we lose tomorrow.
But no, I honestly, I think we're going to win 3-0.
3-0. Stell, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know the score. I think we will win. I'll tell you what I want to see. I want to see us batter them. I want to see us win 3, 4, 5-0. I want to see us really turn them over. Like a solid performance. One where we come away from and we say, yeah, that's Tottenham. If it's a 1-0, a 2-1, I'm going to be, oh, God. Because the thing is, if we just win it by 1 goal, that means I'm just waiting for the inevitable, whether it's next week, next month, 3 months, for the wheels to just come flying off again.
Yeah.
Because we're not convincing.
Do you think we have, if they sit back and really just say, all right, you come and try and break us down, which is something we failed dismally to do over the last couple of years, is break teams down that sit deep against us. Who have we brought in that's going to unlock that key?
Nobody.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think you should bring in Brian Hill. I think Brian Hill's a dark horse in that. I don't think people would. I think because he's of his size, I think people are going to underestimate him. And I think that they'll go catch on quick, but I think that you could. I think he's a dark horse there that you could utilize to break some people down.
Well, I hope so, because I haven't seen us improve our squad in that regard. That we don't have anyone that's going to pull the strings and unlock the door. You know what I mean?
We call him the locksmith.
Kind of like Saka was when they first started utilizing Saka. Arsenal, when they first started utilizing Saka, he was kind of like that dark horse, right? He had enough. He was underestimated, and he was a lot more effective. He's not near as effective now as that people, after coming back from the Euros and people knowing that he has quality, they're respecting him now, and he's not getting as much returns as he did last season.
If they do that, we're probably just going to wait and hope that a chance falls to Son or Kane and they take it, and that's what it's going to come down to, because that's how it always is. In those situations, it's crazy. We've got Ndombele, Lo Celso, Dele Alli, and not one of them can take control of a game and create the way Ericsson used to create chances. Yep,
he pulled the strings. He'd, like you say, he'd unlock he had the keys to the kingdom. He could unlock things. He made us tick in that regard.
But for me, my score prediction for tomorrow is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super chats, because super chats make me less negative. So we're going to win 5-0.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Finally, it was that easy.
If we win 5-0, I'll be very happy in the stands watching that tomorrow. I'll tell you now, if we win 5-0.
Yep.
Right.
So, yep. If you super chats make me less negative, so the more super chats I get, the more positive I become. And that's right. Super chats turn me into Mr. K. That's exactly right, Rila. Exactly right. Exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh my lord!
Super chats turn me into Mr. K.
So
Wonder where is Mr. K tonight?
I love seeing how uncomfortable Mr. K gets when he gets praised or super chats and things like that. He really gets uncomfortable around that sort of thing. It makes me laugh every time.
What players do you think we will, if we buy? Who do you think? What positions do you think we will buy in the next 2 days?
I was shocked if we buy anybody. We'll probably buy 2 more left wingers or 2 more midfielders when we already have like 8 of those in each. Exactly who we're gonna buy.
I'm hoping something happens with Ndombele and he moves out and we get another, someone in to replace him.
Fucking
And
who are we gonna get in?
Well, that's the question. And then I'm also hoping we get another. I'm hoping we get another fucking left back. Right back in.
We have 3 right now.
Yeah, I think we need to sell one before we buy one, because the other 2
All
are
right, then
crap.
all right, perfect world. Aurier goes.
Right, but I mean, you know how many right wingers we have? None.
Is it Bergwijn?
Yeah, but let's be honest. In terms of actual
He's a half
right
a winger.
all right. In terms of right backs, we've got one.
Half.
Yeah, but we have half a winger.
Right, but we've got. I get you, but like in terms of actual right backs, we've got one.
No, we don't. We have 3.
No, we don't, because Doherty isn't fucking. He ain't fit for purpose.
No, he's a right back. He's just crap.
Right, so he's not fit for purpose. Like if he was
Okay,
a car,
so
he'd
count-
have 2
count-
wheels. You know what
Okay,
I mean? And you wouldn't.
count Doherty as half a right back. Okay.
You're being generous, Will, but okay.
And let's say Aurier is half a right back.
That's 1.
Okay, that's 1. Then we've got Tanganga, right? That's 2.
Right,
We
but
have
neither
We have
Aurier or
half a winger, and that's it. And Mora. Gilla's not right wing. He's a left winger, not a right winger.
he could play on the left and cut in though.
Play on the right and cut in, you mean?
Sorry, play on the right and cut in. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not good at that. But every scouting report it ever says that his preferred and his best performances is on the left. He's a boots to paint type winger, and yeah.
I don't know, because I wouldn't have said he was necessarily playing boots to paint when he played on Thursday.
No, he's playing as a midfielder, left side midfielder. Yeah.
And I admittedly, it was against a not good team, but he did the job.
But there's a lot of people who could play at right wing. Heck, you could have Harry Kane play right wing if you want to. It doesn't mean he's a right winger. Just saying.
When you're right, you're right.
You can stick anybody in there that you want to. Heck, you could have, Hugo Lloris play right wing if you want him to.
Well, that must be the balance that Nuno keeps talking about that's needed in the squad.
That's Nuno saying, "Can someone please back me? I'm not getting any backing here."
Yeah, well, because he has said it on a couple of occasions. He's like, "We've got good players, but we need balance." It's like, you're fucking right, you do.
Every manager that comes to Spurs talks in cryptic code that they need backing.
Me.
And yeah.
If you slow it down and play it backwards, he's like, "Help me, help me."
If you're ever watching his press conference, he's always like tapping Morse code out, SOS on his chest. But yeah,
Who do you think we get? Or you don't? Who do you think then, still? Or do you think we won't?
I think something will happen. Fuck knows what. Probably one for the future that goes back on loan. Something like that.
when was the last time we signed somebody on deadline day, though?
Last year, didn't we get? No, we didn't. The year before, we got Sessegnon. I think. Did you know what? If we get a player, I hope we get.
Actually, when did we get Rodon?
We got him after deadline day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think if we get anyone, I hope we get a creative midfielder. If I was to pick any one position, I want a creative mid. But I'd love a striker, creative mid, and another centre back, realistically. But I don't think we're going to get that. I think we'll get one player if we're lucky. Whatever we do, it won't be enough. It won't be what we need.
All I want is a right winger and a center back. So that's all I want. If we go in and we pull in somebody from the championship to back up Harry Kane or something like that, I'm cool with that. I think there's some quality strikers in the championship that can do a job, and we've got till the end of September to get them in, right? So.
We could have bought a perfect person to back him up for 25 million.
Yeah, we could have gotten him for $5 million if we would have looked at him a year ago when I was telling everybody we should have bought him. But
Who's that? Danny Ings?
no,
Who's that?
Well, that's
Ivan
who I
Toney.
was.
I was talking about Ivan Toney.
No, I was talking
Ivan
about
Toney.
Danny Ings.
Well, Southampton today. They drew.
We could have picked him up out of League One for $5 million.
96
Back when I was saying we should have picked him up.
How the hell is it possible that tomorrow we can go top of the league and Arsenal will be rock bottom after 3 games? Did you ever think that would ever happen in your just like that image?
You know, the last time that Arsenal was in 20th place was the 75-76 after a 10-loss losing streak.
How many teams have dropped points so far in the league? If we win tomorrow, would we be the only team that hasn't?
We go top of the table.
But I'm telling you, it's what makes me nervous. What happened every time last season?
We go 2 points clear.
What happened every time last season when we could have, if we win, we were...
Right, but that's
moving
what
up.
I was alluding to in Bob's stream when I said I don't want us to do what we did at Liverpool, which is basically every time, even towards the end of the season when we could have pushed and got like a better European spot, we choked every time.
One win to put us 2 points ahead. Blech.
Yeah, every time. Like that game we had against Chelsea, that 6-pointer, we choked. Like we just choke every time.
We didn't choke that early in the season. It wasn't until the end when it actually mattered.
I don't think we'll choke tomorrow because it's not a pressure game. It's
it doesn't matter.
Whether we go top or we go
Well, it doesn't
4th
matter,
or 6th.
yeah.
But if it's when the pressure kicks in. So that's why, like I was saying on Bob's stream earlier, the game I'm looking at is 3 games time, Arsenal away. What do we do when we go there? Because they're there for the taking. Arsenal are there for the taking. I don't care what anyone says. North London derby, my arse.
You know what else I'm worried about, though? Coming back from the international break. We always play like shit the first game back from an international break. Always.
But we don't have any players playing. Oh no, we do now. We've got loads, haven't we? Just not English players.
Yeah, Son.
Yeah.
Kane.
Højbjerg. Reggie. No, Reggie's not.
Højbjerg.
The Argentinians won't be.
Romero.
Yeah, only the South American and African players won't be. We don't really have any African players right now, do we? Or Aurier, but that's it.
Aurier, but that don't really matter, does it? Because he ain't playing anyway.
Aurier's a friend. He plays for France, doesn't he?
No, I don't think so. He's a French-speaking African, I do believe.
So we've got, after Watford, we've got Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Wolves, Arsenal. Fucking hell.
I don't think the South Americans will travel. I researched this, and they can try, but then they can get fined from their club. So
I'll tell you what, Tottenham Chelsea at White Hart Lane in a couple of weeks' time will be fire.
That's what I'm saying. We have to play Chelsea before. I think we play Chelsea before we play Arsenal, don't we?
Yeah, and we've got Wolves in the Carabao Cup in between.
On the 21st, yeah.
Could have done without that game, really.
Right after coming back from the international break, we got Palace and then Chelsea and then Arsenal, right?
And Wolves, and then we've got Villa. I'm not worried about.
We got a run of derbies coming up.
We have got 4 London derbies in a row starting tomorrow with Watford.
Mm-hmm. That Chelsea game is going to be telling, though.
I just want to draw. If we can draw the top 6, we'll be sitting pretty.
Chelsea are... We need to come up with a way of how we're going to stop Lukaku, because it's all right when you've got Van Dijk. We don't have a Van Dijk. So someone needs to get on Lukaku in that game, and someone needs to shut down Jorginho.
Romero. It's Romero. He's going to have Lukaku in his pocket.
Just have Højbjerg man mark him.
Jorginho needs to be shut down, and then that Reece James bombing. Actually, Reece James might be suspended.
So yeah, he'll be suspended. 3-game suspension. He'll be out.
I mean, it burns to say this, though, but Chelsea have got a team.
They do.
Mate, they're brilliant. Mate, they're brilliant. Jason,
they
they're
really
brilliant.
have a good team.
Yeah,
They do. But lads, it's time to go. I have to pee.
Okay. Well,
and we just crossed the 2-hour mark, which means my stream will upload quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. I have to get up early tomorrow at 9 o'clock to watch the match. So.
It's been emotional, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Plug yourselves if you have a self to plug.
I literally don't. So that's my plug.
You don't have any outlets in your house?
Maybe one.
There you go. You got something to plug.
Plug the sink.
And what about you, Mr. Tottenham away?
Yeah, we've got shows tomorrow, Monday, but the big one I would like everyone to get involved in if they can. You too, Jace. We're doing a transfer day show where we're going to analyse what Tottenham have done, where we're positioned, what we think we're going to do this season. Now we know what players have come in, who's gone. We're going to compare our squad to the rivals. So yeah, if you're
what time are you starting that again?
8:30 p.m. UK time.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be after the Bald and Beard Tottenham boys. So yeah, I'll be there for sure.
Yeah,
I'll be there, bub.
We'll be on until about, I don't know. Well, the transfer window shuts at 11, so we'll probably be on until about 12. But listen, if people are on it and they want to talk, we'll keep it going.
I'll be around.
Yeah, that'll be right after. So maybe what we'll do is we'll spin that up into Bald and Bearded Tottenham boys, because we usually go around 6:30, and then it's from 6:30 to 8:30, and then. Do
you want me to change the time of our one, Will, to 9 then? Is that better?
No. It'd be good. We'll just keep going, man. We'll just keep going.
All right.
Keep it rolling. I may have to jump off at around. I actually may have to jump off around 10:30 because I think my son might have training on Tuesday.
But mate, we'll just play it by ear. Don't worry about that. Whenever, like, it's gonna be. We're winging it. We are freestyling.
Wing it, freestyle like me. That's what I do. My whole channel's freestyle.
Freestyle. My whole channel's freestyle.
It is. Like everybody's like got books. You know, I have a nice journal here where I do all the planning for my shows. You know, you can see that I do a lot of planning for my shows.
Looks like Tottenham Hotspur's transfer strategy.
Exactly.
That's the
playbook. It looks like the inside of my mind blank.
This is what I use to plan all of my shows. I'm telling you.
That's
if I didn't have this, you know, this is page 1. These are words to live by.
Turn on stream.
You could put a Tottenham logo on the front of that book and sell it as our history of the last 20 years.
Tottenham's trophy record since 2000.
Since Enoch.
And you'll just have 2008, the end.
Yeah, that's it.
It started so well. But I'll be there, mate. I will be there.
Yeah. So everybody make sure that if you're watching the show now, is that TV and OLED? No, man, that's a cheap LCD. Buddy. I think he's talking about this one back here. Like, why is it so crisp? It's this guy right here. That's why.
Quick question before we go. Would you guys be happy if we bought Adama Traore or not?
He's better than what we got, I think, right now. In that position.
I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy, but
he's not who I want.
Right.
Yeah.
If we had other choices, I'd rather take them. But if it's him or nothing, then okay, I guess. Does that make
I think he's coming.
sense?
I don't know if you guys heard or not, but he actually switched his agents to Mendes in order to push the move.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he well, I mean, it's nice that he wants to come. I suppose.
I don't know if you know this, but Wolverhampton Wanderers, they own 15% of Mendes's company. So, you know, when people say, if anyone's got links to Mendes, he can get you players. That's not quite true. It's Wolves. Wolves got the players from Mendes because they own part of Mendes's company. We had a Wolves fan on our show telling us this.
So switching to Mendes don't mean shit.
It does. It means they get more cash.
It gives Wolves more power.
Gives Wolves more cash too.
Right, and Wolves don't want to sell him.
I don't know if they don't want to sell him.
Maybe
Look, I mean,
maybe we could do a swap deal with Jack Clark.
I will say this. It doesn't matter what I want. If our manager says he wants that player, then we should get that player. Like, that's all I will say. No, seriously, still.
Look at Reload's comments. That's hilarious. Adama,
Bergroyd.
a.k.a. Bergroyd.
Bergroyd. He kind of is like Bergwijn or Royce.
He's better on the ball than Bergroyd.
But do you know what I mean, though? If he's the player that our manager says he wants,
I'm going to call him Bergroyds.
I'm curious. I am curious to see. Adama Traore has never really played with a quality front line, like a super. I mean, Wolves have a good front line, but it's not Son and Kane.
That was my argument. Let's see him play.
I'd like
with
to
Son
see
and
it.
Kane up front.
Like I said earlier, I think there's another stream I said where I was like, can we test drive him first? Like a loan deal would be great. Get him on loan. I think that's the problem. That's what Tottenham want to do is get him in on loan, and Wolves say if you're going to take, you can have him if you want him, but you got to buy him. That's what a lot of people are saying to us right now. We're trying to go in for all these different loan deals, like we're the loan masters, and we might as well, get the stadium naming rights to rent a center because that's what we like to do with players. It's just rent them. We don't want to buy anybody. We just want to rent them.
Rent the White Hart Renter player.
Hold on. Who remembers Rent? Oh, maybe no one. Do you remember Rent a Ghost, the kids show?
Used to love Rent a Ghost.
Oh, I used to love that.
Do you guys have rent centers in the UK where like you can go rent appliances or TVs?
So we don't have renter centers, but all the electrical stores they have like they have they rent it to you or lease it to you. We used to have
but they don't have like rental specialty stores.
Rumbelows used to do that before they shut down.
Yeah. No, we don't have a center for it. Most businesses offer that service.
Right, but like in the United States, we have specific stores that like that's all they do is rent.
No,
and it's like a rent to own where you rent it, and then after like a year you can buy it at for what remains for the retail price after you've rented it.
We don't have a specific store for it. We just
we have them in Canada. They're not called renter centers, but we have places that do that in Canada as well.
Yeah, we have. I think we have Rent Boys. We have Rent a Center. We have. There's a bunch of them.
Oh no, that's got some connotations right there.
Or maybe it's Pet Boys. I don't think it's Rent Boys. I think it's Pet Boys.
You've got a building called Rent Boys.
Yeah, they don't have. Doesn't have a meaning here in the U.S.
It does where I come from.
Can I just say, if there was a building in the UK called Rent Boys, we're all going to fucking hell. We're all going to hell. Where are you going, love? I'm just popping down to Rent Boys.
Up and down to rent boys.
I'm gonna rent myself a couple of boys. Yeah.
But if our manager wants him though, then we should get him because the club should back the manager.
We should always buy the players that the manager wants, isn't it?
100%.
I've never understood this. Get a manager in, but we tell you who you're gonna have. It's like
so we've got.
Is
so
that
here
how
we have-
Alex Ferguson won 13 titles? Is that how he did it? Then is it?
No.
Fucking hell.
So we have this is just here. This is within the
We have Easy Home here. They do that.
So we have Rent-A-Center, right? We have this is just within within 15 minutes from my house. Rent-A-Center, Aaron's Rent to Own, Easy Rental, Rental HQ. Like this is a big thing for people that don't have cash here in the U.S. is rent, and then payday loans. You guys have payday loans?
Yeah, we do have that in Canada. I don't know about in Britain. Which,
Where you
by the way,
we've got
worst idea in the world. Fucking terrible idea that is.
Like you take them,
Sorry, go on, Will.
No, so what basically for people that don't know what it is you take your check in, or you know what day you're going to get paid, and you take a blank check, and they charge you like 80% interest, and so
you get shut. Do never buy, unless you got to feed your family. Never borrow money from them kind of people.
So we had something similar called Quick Quid, Wonga, a couple of companies, but they all got shut down. They lost some kind of court case where they were it was causing a lot of problems for a lot of people, and I know they've all collapsed basically. There might still be one or two around, but not like they used to.
Everywhere, dude.
They shut them down.
In every poor community in America, there's a Rent-A-Center, payday loan, abortion clinic, and a liquor store. No joke.
Living the dream.
Well, I can see why you'd need two of them. Everyone should have a link. Everyone, I think that's a basic human right to have access to booze. So
Yeah, but like me, if I want to go to a liquor store, it'll probably take me 15, 20 minutes to get there. But I'm talking like it's like on every corner.
Well, in America, do you have to go to a specific liquor store to buy alcohol? Can you not just go into like a normal convenience store or food outlet or corner shop and just they sell it in there as well?
It depends on the state. So it's regulated by state law. So like in Commonwealth states, they have ABC stores, which are Alcohol Bureau Commission or something like that, and that's where you can only buy hard liquor. So beer you can buy anywhere. Like a gas station, grocery store, convenience store, grocery store, liquor store. You can buy beer anywhere. Some states you can buy hard liquor or spirits in a grocery store or convenience center. Like state of Missouri, you can. California, you can. Like in North Carolina and Virginia, where I just moved from, you can only buy spirits from a state-owned store. Just depends on wherever you live.
Okay.
We have like all of our gas stations have stores attached to them, convenience stores attached to them, and all of our grocery stores have, big long beer lines. And if you were to run into Tesco, there'd be a two-sided aisle that just full of beer and wine. So beer and wine you can get from a grocery store in most states, if not all states. But in some states, like in Texas, there are dry counties, which means you can't buy alcohol in that entire county.
See, in Canada, the grocery store itself doesn't sell alcohol at all. None of them.
Wow.
There's none of them.
Who is Nuno Santo?
Reload just. So you remember I said those companies that were lending money at stupid interest rates. The court ruled against them. He basically said that the court didn't just rule against them; they wiped all their debts out as well. Oh my!
Shit!
That's why they shut down. They all went bankrupt off the back of that.
I imagine.
Wow.
Okay, so wait, hold on. You are making fun of drug addicts, right? You're slating drug addicts.
Payday loans.
And then you're like calling me a big hotshot YouTuber. I don't give a fuck if it's a joke. I don't find that shit funny, right? So you can unsubscribe from my channel or piss off or do whatever you want to do. But this type of shit, I don't like that.
Big hotshot YouTuber Will doesn't have a liquor store. Isn't he just playing Will?
I don't like that. I don't like. That's not. There's no emoji.
There?
He's saying because I'm some kind of big hotshot YouTuber, I'm so well to do that I don't live near a liquor store. Right. That's his point.
It's misleading because you've got such a nice studio, you see, and the rest of us in our little.
I'm not sensitive. I just don't like it.
Sensitive personality. You don't know, Will. Lavella profile pic equals opinion invalid.
That's true. That
Reload
is true.
on fire.
He is. I'm telling you, I love Reload, man. Me and Reload go after each other all the time too. There's a difference. See how you put this, the laughing emoji? That's a joke, right? This looks like you're being serious, right? See the difference?
He's apologized, Will. I apologize.
Oh, I forgive you as long as it doesn't happen again.
Fucking hell, it's one and done in this channel.
No, I just let him know that I don't like it.
And you are very entitled to do so.
I don't. Because I'm not well-to-do. I live week to week.
You do what you want to do.
I do. I live week to week, paycheck to paycheck. Got a wife and 3 kids. I'm not rich.
I'm living the dream, me.
I'm not poor.
I'm living the dream.
I'm not poor.
I'm living a dream. Like, fuck, dude. I'm like single with 3 kids. So, it's a dream of some sort.
I'm living a deep denial of levels that even the deep blue ocean haven't seen. I'm living in a kind of an abyss. Oh, who's it that said that? Oh man, someone put a tweet out today about Arsenal. I was in tears. Someone was saying, trust the process. The process is down the pan. And then someone replied, no, it's not. It's down the abyss. It's down a fucking black hole. What? They're just who can be the more negative? Who's more depressed than the other fan? And they're just egging each other on to like feel more and more shit.
What about that kid that screams in his car? I wonder what he did today. I'll have to go check his Twitter.
Oh.
Can I ask you, do you think he did that on purpose to get likes, or do you think he genuinely
that video got like 1.1 million views in like 24 hours, man.
Jesus Christ. Do you know what? Put that video on YouTube, man.
I
Stick that on your channel.
don't even know if he has a channel.
To be fair, he probably will do it again since that got all those likes, though. Because he's going to try and.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China, Bob?
I had a teacher called Misleading.
She always used to tell me to expect better.
I guess it's a play on word for misleading.
It is. Bob, you're so funny.
That's a dad joke right there, Bob.
Bob, this is what happens when you don't stick to your bedtime.
Yes, wow.
See, I've got 2 twin boys. They're both 12, and one of them loves telling dad jokes. And he would be proud of that joke, Bob.
Take a bow.
Reload's on fire tonight. And then Bob said you should have told her you need help with question 4Q, and then to piss off.
Piss off, Bob.
But get 4Q.
Do you know that DT? He's not on.
Yeah, apparently he's in jail or something like that.
Who?
But I heard he's got he's having some mental health issues. He's taken a break away from everything.
I think that's
what, from the Arsenal channel.
All YouTube channels. Yeah.
No. Are you on about the DT? From
Yeah.
DT
sorry,
from AFTV,
Okay.
DTFC.
Okay.
Somebody
Well,
said that he's in jail.
Well, if it's mental issues, like
He's been
I
in
hope
jail
he gets
before.
better soon.
DT. He's been to
Yeah.
Do you know
if
what?
he's in jail,
that
got
that
caught.
that channel it breeds it though. It breeds it. It takes it to a different level of. I watch them when they're playing like a Man United or a Tottenham or a Chelsea or a big game. When the referee gives a decision against them, the way they react is psychotic, man. It's fucking psychotic. It's so too much. And then obviously people then tweet and comment and they react to that as well. It's just a manifestation of like madness. It's too much. It's way too much. You know Claude, the guy that passed away.
Yeah.
I think he got a bit sick through that channel as well. If you have two twins, Jason, you would have 4 kids. Big up.
Because twins means 2 kids, right? So if you have 2 twins, that means you have 4 kids. Bob
I
said.
got the
Yeah.
maths.
No, Bob, you are correct.
So Jason, have you got 2 kids or 4? What's
No, he's correct in what he said, but that's
know,
not what I
and-
meant.
So that's why I'm asking you. Like, how many kids do you
I
actually have?
have one pair of. I'm sorry. Let me state this correctly for Bob. I have a pair of twins.
2
A
kids.
pair of twins.
Yes. So
Pair
I
of
have
twins.
I have 2 children, 1 set of twins.
I have 3 boys that are 2 years apart. So it's almost like I have in the oldest 2 are only 15 months apart, so they're almost Irish twins, as we call them here.
Well, because you got the twins that are 12, and then like my other boy, he's 20.
Then you got 3 kids.
That's what I said. I've got 3 kids.
I swear to God, you just said you had 2 kids.
You did.
So we've gone from 2 to 4. You've got
No, I said I've got. The initial statement was I've got 3 kids and 2 twins, or 2 of
Do you
them
know
are
what?
twins.
I actually
What?
don't care anymore. You can have. I don't care.
You have as many kids as you like.
I don't care how many kids you've
I-
got anymore. You can-
Well, I
whatever you
mean, to
want.
be fair, nor should you care, really. Because I barely care, so I don't see why anyone else should.
Check the third MC goal reaction on the developer.
I have no idea what that is.
Is this another Universe Galaxy?
Mr. Cynical.
On the developer.
Third MC goal. Manchester
No,
City
The
goal.
first Man City goal on the. So that must be a channel.
Devin Loper.
Developer. Oh, Devin
Is
Loper.
that a YouTube channel?
Must be.
Gotta be.
Let's check out D. Was it DEN?
DEVNELOPER.
They're tearing you up, Jason.
There's no such thing. Developer doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist,
What's
Mr.
that?
JT Cynical.
He's on
According
Twitter.
to Stelios.
Maybe he's on Twitter.
Reload, you fuck nugget. I'm pretty sure Bob already made that point.
You
And as for the
fuck
thing you
nugget.
said after that, you're right. But it's like fucking 1:25 in the morning. I'm fucking tired. And fuck all of you.
We were supposed to end the stream like 25 fucking minutes ago. We've been talking about bullshit for the last 25 minutes.
Can I say, the other day on Bob Spurs' channel, he did the funniest thing ever. And he, I don't... So he's doing a live stream and his little boys walked into the room where he's streaming. And he's
Bob
looked at his
only
boy,
likes one of them.
and he goes to his boy,
Sorry.
like, kind of, I'm doing a stream, get out of here. And
Yeah.
at the same time, someone on the show told Bob to piss off. And then a comment popped up saying, piss off, Bob. And Bob, like, in the moment, just turned around to his son and said, yeah, you as well, piss off.
You sure it was in the moment? He probably just was. His kids probably get told to piss off all the time. But no, what's funny, you got to train your kids better, Bob.
It was
I was on the stream.
It was just.
You remember when I was on the stream earlier and I went off cam for a minute?
Yeah.
I have my kids so well trained that my youngest son, who's 9, there's so for people who don't know, those are doors right there, right?
Okay.
That go out of my office, and I have my kids so well trained that my youngest son stubbed his 2 toes on the back of his feet that were bleeding, and he comes to the door and doesn't even knock. It's just kind of waving. He's only 9, right?
Yeah.
And he's waving. He knows better than to open that door when it's shut, even if he's bleeding. Just kidding.
It's kind of funny though, because my kids, like the twins, the 2 12-year-olds, they don't watch terrestrial TV. It's all YouTube for them now. That's how they get their entertainment.
Yeah, mine too.
And it's like when they come up and talk to me, and I'm on a show, and I'm like, "No, I'm on a live show," and they're like, all of a sudden they're kind of impressed with Dad because he's on a YouTube show. I'm like, "Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I got some dad cred."
Yeah, my kids asked me.
Look at the last comment from Reload. The one just above Bob. Bob named one of his kids
Bob's just to say piss off. I'm telling you, man, he's on fire. Except for what he said about me. That was bang out.
I can only see him supervising. Bob's got a restraining order on himself.
Because he told his kid to piss off.
Mate, honestly, it was the funniest thing that Bob's done. It was just... I just couldn't believe it. It was just brilliant. Oh.
But yeah, there's what we have. My kids know. My kids know.
You got them trained.
I got them trained. There's 2 things. You don't eat Dad's snacks.
Well, hold on. What's Dad's snack?
The snacks that I buy for myself.
Oh, so I thought you had a specific snack, but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it could be like like I like Twizzlers or sometimes I'll do
how do they know
peanuts.
How do they know that they're your snacks? Do they go in a certain place that no one's allowed to touch, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a cupboard.
So I can literally leave an open bag of Twizzlers in front of a 9-year-old kid, and he won't touch a single one.
Yeah, so I call it my secret stash.
Yeah,
secret stash.
Everyone knows where it is, though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's so true. Everyone knows what a secret stash is, for fuck's sake.
But what's funny is like I can't even remember the last time I spanked my kids. Like it's probably been a good
secret stash.
years, right? I mean, like years and years.
I'll be honest, Will. I've never laid a finger on my kids, but like I don't think they've ever seen me really get angry. But for some reason, there's a fit like, "Don't get angry, Dad." I'm like, why are you worried about it? I could be a right pussycat when I'm angry. Like you don't know. Like it makes me laugh.
But my wife can holler and scream at them, and they'll just kind of blow her off. Especially now that 2 of them are taller than her. And I told her, she didn't believe me. I said, once they're bigger than you, they're not going to be scared of you anymore. Like that's just not going to happen. And but for me, I don't even have to say words. I can just look.
Mm.
And
they know.
Stop. Or my favorite thing is to snap. I'm a snapper.
Yep. Even though no one heard that because of your sound gate, but yep. There you go.
Yeah. And I snapped hard that time too. But yeah, I mean that was I just driving in the car because for me in tight spaces, if people are chitter chattering, it drives me nuts.
Yeah,
drives me nuts. Car rides drives me nuts. So all my kids have really nice headphones, because when they have headphones on, they're less tempted to talk to each other.
It's the beauty of pads.
Yep. And I don't get him the earbuds. I get him the over the ears because when they feel that on their head, they don't talk to each other. But if they don't wear headphones, they'll sit there and talk to each other. It drives me insane. I don't like it.
Well,
Anyway, guys, we got to go. We got to get our hair out. I had to pee like 30 minutes ago. Yes, police dog trading level chilling. That is true. When I call, they come. I tell them to get me something. Like my cell phone could be across the room, and I'll be like, call my middle son. You hand me my phone.
I do that a lot with my kids, man. I
gotta do it while they can, man.
Right, because they're gonna reach the age of my 20-year-old where they're not gonna do it. But at the moment, I'm like, could you pass Dad his? And they'll do it, and they're good about it.
I gotta do it while I can because once they turn 15, they stop doing that crap. So
Look at Bob's comment.
yeah. So you're proud of the fact that your 9-year-old is bleeding and probably about to have his foot amputated, knowing Will full mic that you won't pick up snap of the fingers. Shame on you, Daddy Will. He doesn't know that. I know that my mic won't pick it up. He doesn't know that. The door's closed, and he knows better than to come into my office when I'm streaming.
Oh,
Do you know what, Reload? They're probably FaceTime each other over the pads.
socializing via iPad messaging. Oh, you know, I talking.
When they're not in the car, when the three of them are not sitting because you have to understand something about my kids, especially my younger two. They yell when they talk. They don't.
Kids do that.
Yeah, they don't talk. It's not like they sit there and have a conversation. Like they're literally sitting shoulder to shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, did you know about this game?"
Yeah, yeah.
So,
all kids do that. I'm forever. I sit here on my computer with my headphones on, and my computer's in my living room. And like one of my kids is on the PlayStation, the other one will be on his PC, and they're talking to each other, and they're like 2 foot away from each other.
Yeah.
But they're screaming, and I'm like, I literally can't hear what's going on in my headphones. Like, why are you shouting? You're literally next to each other.
Well, and that's what I tell them too. I was like, the three of them will be in one room, sitting right next to each other, playing a game together on their iPads or whatever. And they'll be hollering at each other. No, don't kill me. Why did you kill me? And I'm like, you're sitting right next to each other, right? You do have headphones. They have microphones. They're talking to yourself in game.
It's like, silence.
No, they got to get together in this small, tiny group, and they'll start screaming and shout. And then all of a sudden, one of them will have killed the other one in the game. And so then they'll start fighting in real life and fist fight and punching each other. And my 9-year-old, he's tough. So Bob, he wasn't even in tears.
He gives as good as he gets.
Oh yeah. There was when he was in kindergarten. True story. He was in kindergarten, and his brother was in 3rd grade. And his oldest brother is in 4th grade. Somebody was making fun of his middle brother, who was in 3rd grade, and he stood up. A 4th grade kid was making fun of my 3rd grade son. And my 4th grade son sat there and did nothing. My kindergarten son stood up and punched the 4th grader square in the nose and bloodied it.
So he takes after Dad then?
Yep, he does. He's a tough one. So you know what I did during the stream is I did this. And I went like that. And I gave him some alcohol wipes. And I said, go clean yourself off. You'll be all right. And he said, okay. He walked out. And I could hear him going, as it stung, because of the alcohol wipes. And he's like, he's all right now. So I asked, after the stream was over, I asked him, I said, how's your foot? He's like, it's okay.
So Bob's got social services onto him. Will's admitted child abuse. Jason, anything you want to admit to whilst we're at it?
It wouldn't be abuse. It would technically be neglect.
Well, apparently I'm claiming 4 kids on the old social welfare, and I've only got 2.
Oh, fraud. Okay, nice.
Right, because the 20-year-old obviously doesn't count anymore.
Listen,
so,
fraud.
yeah.
It's all good.
Fraud.
If that's what you got to do.
And I'm being sued for the Michael Jackson statement as we speak. So there's that. I mean, it's all going to pot in my life.
Yeah, he but what's funny about him too is the way he came in and said it was kind of weird. So I'm like, dude, what's up? Because normally he wouldn't even come to the door if I'm streaming. So I knew something was up. That's why I went off cam and talked to him. And he was like, yeah, is this gonna be all right? Like he wasn't crying. He's just looking, and it's he's got it was bleeding around the edge of his toenail, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Think it's gonna be all right? You think I need a Band-Aid or anything like that? I'm like, is it still bleeding? He's like, no. I'm like, I think you'll be all right. Just clean yourself up. Like, okay. He walks out like he wasn't even.
Didn't phase him.
Yep, he's a little bit of a hardhead.
Guys,
but he's
I
the
can
biggest.
hear the birds chirping, which means it's that time where if I don't go to bed and get at least 3 hours sleep, I'm not even going to turn up to this match I'm supposed to be going to tomorrow.
All right, so leave. Let's go. Let's get. I'm gonna leave too, folks.
Right.
It's like
Peace.
5:45, and I've got to be up at 10:30. What's that? 5:45, 7:45, 8:45, I've got about 4.5 hours sleep.
Well, there you go. That's funny.
I've got to go.
All right. It's been emotional, gentlemen. Will, thanks for having me on, mate.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you for coming on the show. All you folks at home, thank you for watching. Except for Bob, you can piss off. And you know what, guys? Stay strong, stay Spurs. See you guys next time. Let's go, folks. Let's win tomorrow. We love you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go now.